have been unable to step forward and grab the reins. The opportunity arose again this week. A Ranger loss to Quebec Sunday opened the door for the Islanders, and they took advantage. Pierre Turgeon's third-period goal Tuesday lifted the Islanders to a 2-1 victory and a 1-point lead in the fight for the fourth and final playoff spot in the Patrick Division. That sets up tonight's all-important battle at Madison Square Garden. It's sure to be another classic clash. Up next on Sports Channel. There's Thomas. He scores! Kasparaitis with the hip check. Right into the back end. He scores! As for the saver, off and is done by Healy. Derek King dances in the back. Backhander by King. The rebound. Falling score! From Madison Square Garden in New York City, Sports Channel presents New York Islanders hockey. Tonight, it's the final meeting of the regular season between the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. The wait is over. The moment has arrived. This, the key clash of the season between the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. Little did anybody realize when the NHL schedule was drawn last summer the significance of this game on the 2nd of April and what it means to both teams.
And they keep telling us that the regular season, 84 games, they don't count. There's no meaning in these hockey games. Obviously, they haven't been to one of these.
And only in New York is anything quite as big as this matchup. Here are the stories for Meineke, beginning with the New York Islanders story. It doesn't end tonight. For a lot of us, I guess this is the most significant game. While it is huge and the season ends 2 weeks from tonight, it is important, but every game is, and this Islander team has to relax. There is no change in the lineup. Al Arbor is going with the same group that won Tuesday night over the Philadelphia Flyers, meaning that Glenn Healy gets his third start in a row. He's given up only 4 goals against in the last 2 games. And of significance again, beating the crowd. Every guy will tell you that it's important to get the jump on the Rangers tonight, or at least stay even during the first 10 minutes of this game. Take the crowd out of it. You think back, the Islanders haven't won a game here in the last 6 visits to Madison Square Garden, going back to the middle of February 1991.
Your third point, Jake's taking the crowd out of it. That's exactly what the Islanders are going to have to do. They have to know that the New York Rangers are going to make a tremendous effort at the beginning of this hockey game, which is going to, of course, include the crowd. The Islanders can ice the puck, stall, do everything to keep the Rangers from getting that good start. The game will go on and the Islanders will play into it.
Now for the New York Rangers, their story, it too brought to you by Meineke, begins with 11-5. That is what we're talking about, 5 losses in their last 6 home games and have scored only 11 goals. Only 19 in the last 6, including 8 of those goals in a game against the San Jose Sharks, so they have had difficulty putting the puck in the net. The hype has been something incredible. The Rangers have to ignore the stories about a jinx in the date of 1940. Much like the Islanders, it doesn't end for them tonight either, because beyond today, 7 of their next 8 games are against the division, 4 of which are on the road. They'll play the Capitals 3 times. They have 2 left with the Penguins, 1 each with the Flyers and the Devils, and their game outside the division head is against the Hartford Whalers.
The story about what's going on after today for the Rangers is very important, Jakes. And if you think of the Islanders winning this hockey game, the Rangers have to do something spectacular within the division, which they haven't been able to do all season. 6-2, you know, kind of things. They have to bat better than 600.
In case you've just crawled out of the cave, for British Airways, the world's favorite airline with daily nonstops to London, here's a look at the Patrick Division. The Pittsburgh Penguins are a win away from clinching first overall in the league. Then it's Washington. The Devils 3 points back of them. The Islanders find themselves 4 back of New Jersey and 1 up on the Rangers. The Rangers and the Islanders coming up. We'll be back to the Garden right after this.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. The only beer with taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Nothing beats a Bud. By Mobile Super Unleaded Plus, the detergent gasoline. By Nobody Beats the Whiz Home Entertainment Centers. For everything in home electronics, music, and movies, nobody beats the Whiz. By Snapple Natural Beverages, made from the best stuff on earth. And by Old Spice, cool, crisp, and clean. It puts the wind in your sails.
And now, as we do before every Islander game, Ed's keys, matchups, things that are important to watch for in tonight's game. Mark Messier is the heart and soul of the Rangers. We've got a question mark here.
The question mark really represents what's Al Albert going to be able to get out on the ice against Mark Messier and his line. He'll try to get Green out, the centerman, the young centerman, or Hogue possibly. Defense pairings, obviously the two Russian players if he can.
Goaltending always a key in any game, and especially tonight. Len Healy, we know for the Islanders. Are you surprised that it's Richter for the Rangers?
Not really, Jigs, and then I suppose with some people you could argue, but Healy has won both his games against the Rangers so far this year, be it at home, never here at the Garden. But Richter, well, he hasn't had much luck against the Islanders, 1-3-0.
How about the Islander power play against this Ranger penalty killing unit, Ed?
The Islanders are going to have to play a tough game. They're going to have to play a smart game, and they can hope that they can push the Rangers into taking penalties. The Islanders are 5th in the power play. The Rangers penalty killing is ranked 14th.
If the Islanders win, they're up by 3 on the Rangers. A Ranger win. They're back in 4th place by a point over the Islanders. Opening face-off from the Garden right after this.
Stan Fischel at Madison Square Garden. A couple of things to watch tonight. Well, first of all, for the New York Rangers, watch the Edmonton connection. Kevin Lowe, Adam Graves, Esa Tikkanen. Those are the guys, along with Mark Messier, who have the Stanley Cup experience. And for the Islanders, I commend to you Yui Krupp, Scott Lachance, Vladimir Malakhov. Those 3 guys are going to have to play tight defense. Jigs, Eddie?
In goal for the Islanders, Glenn Healy. 42nd appearance of the season, his 3rd straight game he started for the Islanders.
And for the New York Rangers, as mentioned, it'll be Mike Richter in the net, 13-14-3 on the season. His career record is 3 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties in games against the New York Islanders. The National Hockey League has assigned Bill McCreary to referee tonight's game. Leon Stickle and Mark Vines are your linesmen. Season series, the Islanders 3 wins, 2 losses, and a tie. And that could be important too, because you throw out the odd game, and the 4th game in this series was played at the Nassau Coliseum, an Islander win, so for the need of trying to break a tie, the season is even at 2-2-1, and the Rangers control the draw. Zubov is on one side of the defense, Bukabum on the other at the moment, and Olczyk's cross-ice pass is tipped. Messier failed to pick it up. And now it is controlled by Nemchinov, or Monte rather. He comes to the left side, but Messier is checked at the blue line. Patrick Flatley works it up the right side. This is Ray Ferraro across the line with a pass to Hogue. Hogue pulls up, can't get around Sorella. In comes Kasparaitis, fed it in front, and Ray Ferraro is there and checked by Olczyk, and the Rangers have cleared it down the ice. Len Healy will hold it up, first man back. On defense here, or at least coming back to help the defense. Hogue, and he was slammed on the boards. Gets up slowly, gets back into the play as the Rangers control the puck. Sorella's shot goes wide. Olczyk going back in the net, got bumped. There's a delayed penalty call coming. As the puck is cleared from the zone, referee Bill McCreary indicates a cross-checking penalty. An aggressive start by the New York Rangers as they make Benoit Hogue a target.
Mark Messier started the early hitting. First shift, he takes a run at Benoit Hogue. Then there's a cross-checking penalty involved. There's Hogue going back after Messier. Following in, Kasparaitis with a hit. Sorella is going to the penalty box for cross-checking. There's the first hit of beauty by the captain, Mark Messier, on Benoit Hogue as he bends over to grab his stick. Probably got the wind knocked out of him as well, but just what the Islanders ordered. If you're an Islander fan, Islander player, you want the Rangers to take penalties. Ron Smith, he recognizes the fact that the Islanders' power play has worked very well this season. 5th overall in the league, and the penalty killing of the Rangers, part of our matchup here, we're getting early. They're ranked 14th.
It will be Pierre Turgeon at center ice. Derek King has come to the right with Steve Thomas on the left. Malakhov and Curvers on the points. The Rangers had John McIntyre in to start this penalty-killing role, and now the Islanders move across the line. Thomas back to the point. Curvers with a shot that's turned aside, and the Rangers get it to the line where it bounced right back off Malakhov. Eriksson into center ice, left it for Kevin Lowe. Pulls up and shoots. Turned aside by Healy. Derek King comes back, drops it in a little deeper for Vladimir Malakhov. Thomas waiting out in the center ice area as Malakhov goes to the right side. Curvers takes it off the boards and shoots it hard around. It ends up over on left wing, out of the skates of Derek King, and Graves with it here, doesn't get it out of the zone. Malakhov slips it across to Turgeon. Curvers moves in from the point. Turgeon couldn't get it to him. Now he does, and Curver's shot is denied. The Rangers moving around the boards thanks to McIntyre and down the ice. A minute and 3 seconds remaining in Sorella's penalty. The game just nicely underway. Waiting for the opening goal of the game tonight as King has given the puck to Malakhov, and the Islanders come to center ice. Back it goes to King on the left side. Derek King has shot it wide of the net. Steve Thomas here on the right wing boards gets checked, and the puck comes outside the line. LeChance and Krupp now the Islander defense combination. Adam Graves is up front with Turcotte, killing it off for the Rangers. That's Joby Messier. Ian Zuboff back on defense for the New York Rangers, and Adam Graves clears it out. Now half a minute to go in this Islander power play as Huey Krupp, with a brand new contract, plays the puck through center and on into the Rangers zone. This is going to be an icing call against the New York Islanders.
Rangers penalty killers right now denying the Islanders the center ice area. They can't get the power play generated. Pretty good job by the Rangers. Joby Messier, one of the players that they didn't expect to be playing in the lineup at this point in the season, although he has been effective. Kind of a player that does like to get a piece of the opposition, takes the body well in his own end of the ice.
44-year-old Ron Smith back of that Ranger bench. 500 as the coach of the Rangers. 14 wins, 14 losses, and 7 ties since replacing Roger Nielsen. Roger, by the way, is reportedly at the game tonight along with Mike Keenan. Those two will be the co-coaches of the Canadian entry in the World Hockey Championships in April. Well, this month later on in Germany.
Are they thinking that maybe one of these teams will not make the playoffs and they want to find out how some of the players are doing?
Either that or they couldn't get tickets to a Broadway show, I guess, Ed. Krupp has backhanded the puck in for the Islanders, and the penalty is over as Ferraro spins it in front. A chance for Hogue, and he couldn't get it on the stick. Rangers cleared out, but too far for Sorella, who had just stepped out of the penalty box. 2 shots on goal for the Islanders with that power play. Huey Krupp around the boards towards Scott LeChance. His pass was tipped, but right to Flatley. Now to Hogue. Ferraro with him. Hogue overskated the puck, and Gartner gets knocked down by Hogue. They allowed to continue. About 16,000 referees in the seats thought there should have been a call. There is no score in the game as Tikkanen has the puck. Made it beyond Malakhov. Coming back to the Islanders was Flatley to take the man. Ferraro took the puck, but couldn't get it to Mullen cleanly, so Zuboff moves it cross ice. The Rangers come to center. Tikkanen missed a hit from Kasparaitis. Puck loose in the center zone is dumped in. Tikkanen and Kasparaitis not pleased with one another, and referee McCreary, along with the linesman, get between them.
Esa Tikkanen doesn't have a feel probably for Darius Kasparaitis and the way he loves to hit. Kasparaitis bolted up the middle of the ice, just missed Tikkanen. He was off his feet in the air. There's Tikkanen as he just got out of the way. Kasparaitis took a run at him, put a little extra into it, draws a penalty.
Roughing penalty on Darius. So the New York Rangers put their power play to work. One that is connected on only 19.4% of their opportunities. 34 of their 74 power play goals have been scored here in Madison Square Garden. And in the season series with the Islanders, they're 5 of 28 with the extra man. The face-off just inside the blue line here. Benoit Hogue and Tom Fitzgerald up front. Richard Pilon and Vladimir Malakhov, the Islander defense combination, as Messier centers this line, but Amandi had stepped in before the puck was dropped. Amandi on the right, Gartner on the left. Turcotte plays the right point for Ron Smith's power play, and Zuboff is on the left point. There is no score. Ranger power play, 13th in the league. Hogue beat Messier on the draw, and Malakhov looks up ice and fires it down. Richter will leave the puck for Turcotte. Aaron Turcotte picks up a little speed. It's into the center ice zone, and then he elects to shoot it in. Healy went out of the net to cut it off. Plays it to the left side for Hogue. And again, the Rangers will have to chase it. But this time it goes out of play at the Islander bench. This game is coming to you from Madison Square Garden. The Rangers on a power play. The play, as you see, underway, and a shot just went wide of the Islanders' net and a deflection. Messier sets it up. Mark Messier back to Turcotte. His shot off the stick. Be cleared out by Krupp. Didn't get it out of the zone. Turcotte backhands it wide. Gartner in his pursuit of the puck gets taken to the boards, and the Islanders come up the right side. Ryan Mullen has shot it down into the Rangers zone. Down to the 50-second mark remaining in the penalty to Darius Kasparaitis. Messier goes cross ice to Turcotte, who steps over the line. Graves goes to the front of the net. There's the pass, and Malakhov knocked it away. It skipped off the boards away from Amante, and the Islanders come up 2-on-1. Hogue over the line as Mark Messier got back. This is Tommy Fitzgerald centering. Pilon thought about going it after it, but Tony Amante is there, and out come the New York Rangers. Tony Amante across the line. His shot turned aside by Healy. Vladimir Malakhov handles the rebound and forces the Rangers to chase it.
That's a good hard shot by Amante. Good stop by Healy. He was well out of the net, protecting the angles.
Rangers have had 2 shots on this power play. There is no score in the game. Alexei Kovalev got bumped at the Islander blue line. Curvers up the boards to Flatley. It's knocked away from him. Kevin Lowe can't keep it in the Islander end of the ice. Peter Andersson back for the Rangers. Lowe now. Teams are at full strength again. Kevin Lowe up the left side to Kovalev. Krupp stepped in front of him, and Lachance chases the puck. Scott Lachance around to Derek King, and it bounced away from him. Held here by Nemchinov, and he ran headfirst into Lachance, and the Islanders clear it out. Lowe back on defense, up the left side. Big hit at the Islander blue line. Again, the crowd yelling. Referee Bill McCreary right there watching the play as Krupp got a chunk of his bat, and now Turgeon handles the puck. Went to the left side, but it's offside. Called against the Islanders.
Nemchinov gets taken into the boards. Huey Krupp wrote him in. You see the conversation Nemchinov and McCreary are having. Sometimes you have to take advantage of what's there. Nemchinov had a bit of a jump on Krupp, but he wrote him into the referee. That took Nemchinov down. You can do that and not get a penalty.
Huey Krupp was reported earlier with a new 3-year contract, retroactive to begin this season.
Yeah, he was in the 300 and change bracket, and he got a new one at around 6 and change, 7 and change, and 800,000 in the 3rd year.
Just give me the change.
Yeah, he'd be able to get a new dog sled.
Here's Kevin Lowe for the Rangers. Into the Islanders zone, taken and winning after it, but Malakhov has given it to Thomas, and right back to Malakhov. Turgeon goes back in the net, overskates the puck. Malakhov with the pass to Kasparaitis. He got checked by Tikkanen. Tikkanen trying to come off the left wing boards, turns and dumps it in deeper through Healy. Nemchinov over in the far corner looks for somebody to give it to. Sergei Nemchinov taken down by Thomas, and there will be a penalty against the Islanders. Steve Thomas will get the gate for holding.
That happened because Malakhov missed an assignment. He went in to play the body, missed it. Take another look at this. It's a reverse angle. There's the missed check by Malakhov. There's Thomas. He comes in to bail out his defenseman, takes a holding penalty. So the New York Rangers go back onto the power play. Kasparaitis had just taken a roughing penalty. The Rangers got 2 shots on goal. Good job killing it off by the Islanders. Now Al Arbour watches his penalty killing units go back to work.
Face off to the left of Healy as Steve Thomas is in the penalty box. Major difference between the Islanders and the Rangers this season, road wins. The Islanders have won 19 games at home. The Rangers have won 20 here. The Islanders have won 17 away from the Coliseum. The Rangers have won only 13 away from Madison Square Garden. And 1 point between these two as the Islanders are in 4th place, the Rangers in 5th. And 2 weeks from tonight, the season ends. Zubath quarterbacking the power play for the Rangers, gets the puck into the Islanders zone with Mark Messier. Richard Pilon comes back, banks it off the boards. Covered at the line by Amante. In now to Zubath. On to Mark Messier's stick. Messier playing on the perimeter more these days because of that rib injury. It comes back to the point. Zubath's shot is blocked in front, poked away by Healy, but not out. Zubath played it away from Fitzgerald. That's Turcotte putting it in deeper. Right back to the blue line. Turcotte fires up the slot and missed. Gartner trying to dig it off the back of the net. Can't center it in time. And the puck is frozen there and held for a face-off. What a season again for Mike Gartner. And you can say the same for Glenn Healy in the Islanders net. looking for his 8th road win of the season. He has 13 at home.
Interesting scenario building with Glenn Healy. His 3rd straight start now for the Islanders. Al Arbour, generally, now we say that because you have to be guarded when you're trying to figure out what Al Arbour is going to do next, but generally he likes to go with the hot goaltender, particularly when you get into this part of the season. You can alternate a little bit and change things up a little bit during the regular season, but when you get into crunch time, as they call it, go with the hot hand.
Healy has been sharp in his last 3 outings. On the draw here, it's shot down the ice by Benoit Hogue. 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining in the penalty time to Steve Thomas. There is no score if you've just joined us. I'm Jakes McDonald with Ed Westfall here at Madison Square Garden. Stan Fischler along with us tonight. Andersson shot it wide of Healy. Graves over on the right side, sent it back to the blue line. Long shot is well wide, and it comes to the right for Patrick Flatley. Flatley dumps it down the ice. He and Mullen have been killing off the penalty together with Malakhov and Kasparaitis on defense. And Olczyk out with Graves. And Kovalev, and the play broken up, as you see, at the Islander blue line, and again dumped down the ice.
Some weird attempts by the Rangers, Jigs, trying to make passes. They seem to be kind of awkward-looking plays, something you don't expect, and I'm sure that's because the Islanders have been doing a pretty good job killing off the penalties.
And again, they'll play the puck in their own end of the ice. Kovalev pinched in. It comes back to Andersson for a shot. That was blocked and comes to the right for Fitzgerald, and down the ice it goes. That'll kill off the penalty to Thomas with just 1 shot on goal for the Rangers with that man advantage. There is no score. We have 11 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the opening period. The Rangers float one in that was tipped by LaChance, and Healy tucked it into the corner. Up the right side, taken in, fires it toward the net but missed. Gary King clears it up and out of play as well. There is still no score between the Islanders and the Rangers. Looking at Islander centerman Pierre Turgeon, 49 goals on the season. Mark Recchi of the Philadelphia Flyers got his 50th last night to become the 11th player in the league this season to get 50, and that's a new NHL record. Most 50-goal scorers in a season. Turgeon poised to become the 12th. Will it be tonight? Will it be tomorrow night when the Islanders are at home to the Montreal Canadiens? The puck played out of the Islander zone. Hookeboom back on defense has given it to Kevin Lowe. He dumps it in, and the Rangers send 3 men in to chase it. 3 Islanders get back. The 4th being Healy now to play it around the boards to King. Couldn't get it to Turgeon. Then it did come outside the line. Here Turgeon up to Steve Thomas. Over the Ranger blue line. Got checked. Hookeboom dumps it down the ice. Pilon either touched it or could have, so there'll be no icing call here. Graves driving in on Curvers. Grabs him around the back of the net. Now they scuffle. And there's a scuffle over in the other corner as well as Kocur and Pilon off to the left of this scene that you're watching. There they are. Well, the nastiness that you might have expected perhaps in the 3rd period if this were a lopsided game either way has started early with the score 0-0.
Nothing to gain either by either team. Actually, it's just too bad. This was starting to build. It got off to a fairly slow start. The slow start is a good sign for the Islanders, not a good sign for the Rangers. You'd expect the Rangers to have a much better start here in their own building. Get the crowd into the play. As you pointed out in one of your Rangers stories, for the Rangers, get the crowd involved. It's a big factor for the Rangers in their building, particularly when they've lost their last 3 in a row here. There's Rich Pilon as he goes back. Kocur with him. There's Curvers. And Graves as they get the hands into each other's faces. Referee McCreary ready to hand them out. There's Joey Kocur. Taunting the wrong guy. He won't back up, Rich Pilon. I'm sure. Here's down in the middle of your screen. There's Graves trying to knock the stick out of the hands of Tom Curvers. Curvers fights back, tries to hold him off. Graves is extremely strong. One of the strongest players in the league. Just kind of grabbed a hold of Curvers. Here's the penalty.
Receives 2 minutes for roughing. The 47th of the Islanders, Rich Pilon, receives 4 minutes for roughing. And the Rangers have Graves receives 2 minutes for roughing. And the 26th of the Rangers, Joe Kocur, receives 4 minutes for roughing. The penalties now 9:36.
A virtual wash. Double roughing penalties on Koser and Pilon. Singles to Curvers and Graves. These penalties at the 9:36 mark. And to the credit of referee Bill McCreary, he has gone to both coaches. First to Al Arbor, then to Ron Smith.
Good point, Jakes. I think that's well said. I would have to think that both coaches in their game preparation had to talk to their teams about penalties. Don't take bad penalties. Keep the sticks down. Fire some good hits. Timely hits. Part of the game, it's important. Insert the dominance, particularly for the Rangers playing in their own building. But not to take foolish penalties. Don't get off of the game plan. That can change things. The chemistry of the game. That plays into the hands of the visiting team because they don't have to put the show on here. The Islanders have to play with patience.
It is still 5-on-5 hockey with these coincidental penalties. Had it only been Graves and Curvers, would have been 4-on-4, but when Koser and Pilon got involved, it goes right back to full strength. Forechecking of Steve Thomas slowed up the Ranger play for a moment, but now Olczyk moves it on to the right side for a Monte, pulls up, centers one. Coming back on the play was Curvers to get a chunk of his man. The Islanders move to the zone. Now to center ice where it's dumped down. Mullen turning it over, however. Here's Messier to Kevin Lowe, and his shot is off Glenn Healy. Loose in front. Malakhov having trouble clearing it. LeChance frees it up. Ryan Mullen over on the left side. Spots Delgarno moving through center and then dumped it in, and the Rangers will clear it right back out. Mullen playing on the left with Travis Green in the middle and Brad Delgarno on the right. Out against the Messier line. Tikkanen has come out now, so has Gartner, and Messier leaves. Waiting for the first goal of the game. Gartner went in to chase a loose puck. The Islanders move it out. Proop has given it to Delgarno. He's across the line, got turned around by Zubov, and Joey Zarella clears the zone. 9 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the opening period. Huey Proop got bumped in the center ice zone. Nemchinov steps up for a loose puck. Across the Islander line, cutting into the middle. Nemchinov on the backhand. Drops it to the blue line. Zarella to the corner. They center it across. That was high and well wide. It'll come to the line for Zubov. Into the skates of Ray Ferraro with that play. Now around to Hogue over on the left. Flatley is on the right side, and Gartner has shot it back in offside. 8 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the opening period. Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends and Budweiser.
Benoit Hogue back into the lineup. As the Tikkanen. He'll be guesting with Stan Fischler at the end of the first period. Interesting to find out how he feels. I see he got $5,000 because they traded him while he was on the road. Didn't have any clothes, didn't have all the necessary things that he needed. He got $5,000 to go and get the stuff he needed. Not a bad deal, huh?
What's that, one suit, maybe a shirt and tie for Tick?
Well, probably here in New York.
No, I just meant just the way he lives. I mean, his choice in clothes.
You see?
Gasparitis to Malakhov, up to David Volek, who's out with Mick Vakota and Tom Fitzgerald. Volek stick handling through center ice, being hounded by Eriksson, and the play goes offside at the Ranger blue line. The Islanders home tomorrow night to the Montreal Canadiens. They're playing tonight as well. In fact, the only other game on the schedule tonight, Montreal and Washington at the Cap Center in Landover. First shift for Mick Vakota and David Volek. We've seen Tom Fitzgerald out as a penalty killer prior to this.
There's the referee, McCreary. You think they don't have to keep their eye on the puck at all times? And actually, you know, that was a planned play. That's a pass to the left point man, which a lot of people wouldn't believe, probably including Coach Ron Smith.
Maybe not designed that way, huh? Rangers cleared out of the zone. Malakhov back at the Islander line, frees it up, and here's Fitzgerald one-on-one as he moves in, shoots up and off the defenseman Peter Andersson. Fitzgerald puts it in the goal mouth. Richter and Joby Messier tie it up, and now some more scuffling. Indications are that we're in for a long night at Madison Square Garden. 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this first period.
Look at Richter. He's trying to get out of the tangle. He doesn't want to be any part of it. A couple of players eyeing each other. Mick Vakota for the Islanders as he's led around to cool off. Actually, for the Islanders again, to point out, this is more into their line, road kind of game. The Rangers can't seem to get going. It's important for the Rangers to get into a flow, into a tempo, so that they're coming over the boards line after line. and get the pressure on the Islanders, get the fans into the hockey game, and this way, of course, rather than ice the puck. One of the game plans that the Islanders had early, talking with some of the players before the hockey game, was that if they get in any kind of a trouble in their own end of the ice, expecting a tremendous surge from the Rangers at the beginning of the hockey game, was to dump the puck down the ice. Doesn't matter. Ice it if you have to. Just keep breaking it up. Break up the momentum. Make them come back, face off, so they can't get going.
The Rangers have lost 5 of their last 6 home games. To their advantage, I suppose, the fact that they haven't played since last Sunday. They had 2 complete days away from the ice. Now they have the puck, but can't get it to Amonte in time, and Healy comes out up the boards toward Derek King. King playing with an injured finger, got checked. Messier went to center one, and it goes off the back of the Islander net and is held there. The New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. All of this action is on Sports Channel.
Matchups, Jigs, that we talked about before the hockey game. If Al Arbour could get Travis Green out against Mark Messier.
Right now he's got his way as you see Messier move in for the draw. And it's Travis Green for the Islanders. The puck comes back to Andersson on the Ranger defense. Centers one in front. Olczyk fanned on his first shot, then the second was blocked by Kasparaitis. Monte drops it off in the corner. Mark Messier moving it back in the net to Olczyk through Messier. Joby Messier at the right point put it right on the stick of Travis Green, and the Islanders are out of the zone. Green across the blue line. Right side to Delgarno. Knocks it out of the air but couldn't get it on his stick in time to shoot it, and then Olczyk was in his face. And Olczyk moves it up to Mark Messier, and the Islanders have to chase it. 7 minutes, 25 seconds left in the opening period. Malakhov and Amonte tugging at him. The Islanders, Brian Mullen with a pass now to Green, who's over the line. Travis Green gets knocked to the ice. Brian Mullen moves it in deeper. Green centers. Here's Thomas cutting in front of the net, and it slipped away from him as he shifted to the backhand. Out comes Huey Krupp to recover the puck at center ice. Costa curvers up to Thomas on right wing. Steve Thomas with a pass to Turgeon, who is checked, and the Rangers come to center. Turcotte into the Islanders zone, pulls up, looks for Gartner. He heads to the front of the net. The shot blocked by Krupp, ends up behind the net. Gartner was there, but they couldn't get it to him. Derek King clears the zone. 3 on 2 at center. King over the line, can't make the play to Thomas. And the Rangers play it up the left side. Here's Gartner shooting, turned aside by Healy. Pierre Turgeon, after the rebound, has cleared it out towards center ice. Nemchinov shoots it in. That hit Turgeon, and he carries it over center. Across the Ranger line now. Pierre Turgeon into a little better shooting position. 2 Rangers get to him, forcing him to dump the puck toward the corner. Thomas gets to his man. Now in comes Derek King as well, and the puck goes loose. The New York Rangers, Zubov to Nemchinov. Lead pass, and they had Tikkanen wide open, but couldn't thread the needle. Now 6 minutes remaining in the first period. Nemchinov cuts in front of the net, shoots and hit the outside of the goal. Nemchinov centers again, and the Rangers can't get a shot away. Steve Thomas with a pass that's picked off by Nemchinov. The Rangers set up at the blue line. Long pass up the boards to Tikkanen. He's rubbed out. Centering pass went behind the Rangers. Flatley and Ferraro collided, but they're able to clear it out. Back goes Kevin Lowe.
Here the fans now starting to get into the game with Nemchinov performing some skillful plays around Glenn Healy.
The Rangers are out shooting the Islanders by a margin of 7-3. The Islanders have been a long time without a shot on goal, and now they're offside at the Ranger blue line. The double penalties to Pilon and Kosar have expired with this play stoppage. Now the crowd becoming a bit of a factor, trying to get the Rangers going. Tikkanen to guest with Stan Fischler on our first intermission tonight, as wide open in the center ice area as you see this breakout pass originate.
That was Nemchinov as he grabbed a loose puck. Good stop by Glenn Healy. He tries to recover. Take another look at the same play from a lower angle. There's the shot that Healy got a piece of. Kicked it sideways. Malakhov as he comes back to get after Nemchinov, but good scoring opportunity. Glenn Healy now getting some help from the referee and the linesman as he requires a new twig, as they call it, a new hockey stick, goaltending stick.
5 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the opening period. Face off outside the New York Ranger blue line. Ray Ferraro on the draw with John McIntyre. McIntyre is centering for Graves and Kovalev at the moment. Rangers have dumped the puck in. Darius Kasparaitis is back. Up to the line, held in. Zuboff dumps one off in front. It bounces to the near side for Flatley. Got it to the line. Peter Andersson drilled it wide. McIntyre chasing it. Kasparaitis bumps him solidly. Out of the corner is Graves, and his shot was blocked. The Rangers hold it at the line. Trying to pinch in on the left side here is Joby Messier, but a puck gets tangled up in some skates and frozen for a face-off. Think back to 1983. We talk about this great rivalry between the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. When the Islanders won their fourth Stanley Cup in the spring of '83, only two current Islanders, Brian Mullen and Claude Loisel, had played a game in the NHL at that time. 6 Rangers had already played their first NHL games. Messier, Lowe, Gartner, Wells, Sorella, and Van Beesbroek. So I guess you could say a team of the future against a current team. Not really team of the past, not with ages like some of these guys.
Kovalev, as he goes back, God, he's only 20 years of age. Smooth skater, good passer. Fans getting a little frustrated here in the building. You can hear the buzz. They tried to get things going, tried to liven it up. The Islanders just doggedly checked the Rangers. Of course, they're playing a little longer in their own end of the ice than Al Arbour would like to see them.
This is Scott LeChance deep in his own end of the ice. Gave the puck to Pilon, out to Delgarno. Green moves up the middle. The pass was dumped down into the Ranger zone, as it turns out, and will be called back on an offside play.
3 or 4 times now the Islanders have gone offside. Not a good play for them. Had some fun with Joey Mullen. He was making a point. He said, gee, you guys have to show that giveaway I made the other night against Brian Mullen, the other night when he handed the puck away. He said, you showed it so many times. And then to show you how good-natured he is, he said, well, I suppose with the few number of goals that were scored in the hockey game, you really didn't have too many options. Nice way of putting it, excuse me.
We didn't make it the play of the game, did we?
No.
Delgarno with a big hit, then he got taken down by Joby Messier. And here's Mark Messier for the Rangers to Amonte, but the pass was behind him, and Olczyk picked it up, then shot one wide. Mark Messier plays it out of the Islander zone. Peter Andersson to shoot it right back in again, and Healy will leave it for Richard Pilon. Pilon up the right side for Delgarno. Long pass. Mullen off left wing, shoots. Richter way up above the goal crease, makes the save and holds on. First shot on goal for the Islanders in an eternity.
Yes, only their 4th in the hockey game. Richter easily picking it off. Mullen trying to work his way in. The last time they got to the blue line, it was offside. Beautiful pass here, rink wide. There. Delgarno to Mullen. Defenseman bearing down on him. Best move, shoot it. He'd love to have it a little lower. You could see Green as he come in off the right side looking for the rebound.
Shots on goal are the Rangers 7, the Islanders 4, with 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the opening period.
See Brian Mullen, you see the motion? What he was motioning is that the shot went down. When he shot it, it started to go down. It was a Ranger that was very good at that many years ago. Andy Bathgate, probably the first player that I ever saw that could actually make the puck dive when he shot it.
The Islanders win the faceoff in the Ranger zone. Thomas fanned on his shot, now gets it away. Richter knocks it down. A delayed penalty, no, waved off. Thomas to Turgeon. He can't slip it by Mike Richter. A signal from the referee was not a delayed penalty, but the puck having been knocked out of the air with a high stick. And next to the opposing team, and it's cleared out by Bukaboom, and back goes Huey Krupp. And Chinoff moves in. Krupp touches up. That'll be an icing against the Rangers. We're still waiting for the opening goal of this game. Sports Channel is live at Madison Square Garden. As you see, 3 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the opening period. The Islanders nothing. The New York Rangers nothing. Here are Turgeon, Derek King, and Steve Thomas for the Islanders. Rangers talking it over. Chinoff was waved out of the face-off circle. So Tikkanen will square and take the draw here. He turns on Pierre Turgeon, and that allowed Bukaboom to pick up the puck. Bukaboom up the right side, missed Eriksson. Ends up deep in the Islander zone. There'll be no icing as Healy has given it to Krupp. On the right side for Thomas, relays it neatly to Turgeon. 2 Ranger defense get back. Nice move by Turgeon on low. He shoots Richter the kick save, and Tikkanen came back for the loose puck. Turgeon got knocked down by Bukaboom, and then Chinoff springs Tikkanen. Kerber's trying to get back. Tikkanen to the backhand. Healy the save, and Krupp to clear the puck. Steve Thomas with it again. Now to Turgeon. To Thomas. King picks it up. He's over the Ranger blue line. Gary King, and his shot goes off low, right to Richter, and there's no further play.
Good job by Tommy Curvers. He kept Tikkanen on his backhand side. Didn't let him get a good shot away. Back come the Islanders. Things starting to break up a little bit. Starting to open up, I should say, a little bit with 3 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. This is the return. Look at Kevin Lowe. With all the experience he has, he still played the puck. Played into the hands of Turgeon. Good stop here by Richter as he kicked it out with his right pad. Islanders couldn't grab the rebound. Here's Tikkanen now going down on the right side. Forced there by Tom Curvers. There's his backhand shot. Glenn Healy. He's well out of the net. Cutting down the angle on Tikkanen.
Pierre Turgeon looking for his 50th goal of the season. Back on the bench as Al Arbour has sent Ray Ferraro, Patrick Flatley, and Benoit Hogue out together. Ferraro is in the middle, Flatley on the right, Hogue over on the left. That's Kasparaitis pinching in from the left point. Delayed penalty to be called by referee McCreary. He has spotted a slash. Makes the call with 3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in this first period.
Mike Gardner's going to get the penalty as the Islanders finally crack the blue line of the New York Rangers. They get in deep, start to get things stirred up. That's another thing that Darius Kasparaitis, he irks the other team so much just playing the way he does. Players like Gardner, I'm surprised that he breaks, slashes Kasparaitis, and his team is now going to be shorthanded.
Face-off will be to the right of Mike Richter. Hogue and Ferraro and Patrick Flatley remain as the forwards. Curvers and Malakhov on defense. Adam Graves is out as one of the penalty killers for the Rangers. Darren Turcotte is the other. Turcotte to take the penalty, or the face-off, excuse me. The penalty is on Gardner. The Islanders win the draw, getting it back to Curvers. Into Flatley, around the boards. It was up on the glass, and Hogue couldn't get a stick on it. Flatley does. Now to Hogue. Gets away from Sorella as he comes out of the corner. Feeds the blue line. Curvers right back to Hogue. Side of the net is Flatley to Hogue, and it slipped through him. Curvers lets it go, and that was blocked in front. Centered back to the point. Malakhov shot it off Graves, and the Rangers are out of the zone. Turcotte to the Islander line. Slowed up. Graves brings it over the line offside. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left in a scoreless first period.
Gotta love Adam Graves and the way he plays hockey. Just plays it flat out, basic hockey. Turcotte has the speed in his penalty killing unit up front. Graves that time walks straight up on Vladimir Malakhov, blocked the shot, and the Islanders found themselves in trouble, all but for an offside. Turcotte tried to get loose as a penalty killer. The Rangers have 12 shorthanded goals. The Islanders don't give them up easily. They're stingy. They've only given up 8 shorthanded goals against. No team in the NHL has given up fewer.
Tribute again to Al Arbour and the coaching staff. Discipline.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of it, along with the fact that the Islanders have the luxury of having 2 defensemen as their point men on the power play whenever they're in that position.
Now you've got guys like Malakhov and Curvers who are out there now, both who can shoot the puck. And you can put Huey Krupp out there as well with a gun.
Jeff Norton when he's playing.
Yeah. The Islanders get it back into the Ranger zone. It's kicked loose. Curvers moves in from the blue line. Curvers centered one off. Turgeon lets it go back in the net. Then it's knocked away from him. And Jan Eriksson failed to get it out of the zone. Curvers puts it behind the Ranger net. Over goes Thomas. Another delayed penalty call coming against the Rangers. Turgeon can't center it out. Curvers goes to the corner, but the play has already been called, and Joe Sorella is headed for the penalty box. A 2-man advantage for the Islanders. 52 seconds left in the penalty time against Gardner.
A timely break for the Islanders. Joe Sorella cross-checking there as he hammers Turgeon from the side. Turgeon goes down in a heap. Sorella goes into the penalty box to join Gardner. So the Islanders will have a 2-man advantage for the next 52 seconds. Look for opportunities in a hockey game. This period has been really played by the Islanders just right. The Rangers haven't been able to do what they tried to do. Their game plan has been broken. Along with that frustration, they take back-to-back penalties. Darius Kasparaitis eggs Gardner into slashing him, and that time Sorella cross-checks Pierre Turgeon.
Rangers have been very good in killing off these 5-on-3s. They've allowed only 4 goals against when 2 men short. On the other hand, the Islanders have 8 goals with a 2-man advantage. 25 opportunities, this number 26. Turgeon, Hogue, and King. The puck comes back. Malakhov centers it in front. Turgeon, a backhander off the pipe. Malakhov feeds it back. This is Tom Curvers on to Derek King. Once more for Curvers, up the slot, fires off Richter and on into the seats.
I'm sure Mike Richter didn't plan it that way, but he's very happy it worked out that way as he went across, sliding from left to right, got a pad on it, his right pad, and it deflected into the seats. Gives Ron Smith an opportunity to get at least one more fresh player out. Tikkanen will be that player. There's the crossbar hit, going to the backhand. Turgeon waited. Richter's down. There's the shot. It was labeled, but it was a little too high.
1 minute, 45 seconds in the period. The Islanders controlling the puck. Malakhov here at the right point. Into Turgeon. Hogue slips in on the left side. The pass to King. He shoots. He scores!
What's important here for the Islanders, it's a 1-0 lead. 2, the power play continues. They have 1 minute and 34 seconds still on the penalty to Joe Cirella. Derek King, watch him dead center in front of the net. Turgeon with a beautiful pass. King wheeled it. Beautiful shot in under the crossbar. Just snapped it with a quick move there. Bang. Richter was down, looking for a lower shot. You could see one of the defensemen, or I believe it was Tikkanen, the forward, trying to block the shot. Could have blocked the view of Richter. 35th goal for Derek King.
20 of those had with a man advantage. This goal at 18:25. The Islanders still with a manpower advantage. Playing 5 against 4 as we want Turgeon set up Thomas for a shot that's turned aside. He wheeled it right back out in front. Hogue sets up Curvers over to Krupp. Krupp unable to control it. Then he reached back to knock it away from Mark Messier. This is Turgeon. Here Turgeon walks in. Richter the save, and the Rangers can't get it out. Hogue drops it back. Curvers to Krupp. Fires. That went wide on a deflection. Steve Thomas out of the far corner. Lost it to Mark Messier. Now to Olczyk. Curvers drops back. Olczyk waits for some help to arrive. Dropped the puck for Lowe. He shoots. Healy the save, and the rebound is knocked loose. Held in the zone. Olczyk spins it across, but out of the reach of his teammates. This is Benoit Hogue down the left side. Hogue slips away from one check. Then has to turn back. Hogue with 37 seconds in the period to Malakhov. Now to Ferraro across the line with Thomas, who takes the pass. Thomas shoots. That's blocked at the defense by Kevin Lowe. Thomas puts it in the slot. Flatley scores! Waved off. Disallowed by referee Bill McCreary. He's going to say the net was off.
It's off now. Al Arbour's saying, what's going on? He's saying to Lauren, did you see something? What is this all about? The net is off the moorings. Now there's a conversation. McCreary talking with Flatley. Difficult for him to change this unless he says that the thing was taken off deliberately.
Well, he may want to review this.
Let's take a look as the Islanders still on the power play. Thomas, there's the shot, blocked in front. Thomas then wheels it to the front of the net. There's the shot. It's in. Haven't seen anybody move the net as of yet, but it's under review.
So they've gone to the videotape at Madison Square Garden with 27.7 seconds remaining in the first period. Referee Bill McCreary conferring with the folks upstairs who get 2 or 3 different angles of it. John DeMonte is the man in charge of the video replay here. It's a nice pass, a great shot by Flatley, but it may be for naught. Here's another look.
Can you see if the left goalpost is off the moorings at this point? Right there, the Islanders, yeah. One of the Islanders, Ray Ferraro. Ray Ferraro ran into the net, knocked it off. So the call was correct, much to the dismay of the Islanders. Flatley, and of course now Al Arbour, as Bill McCreary explains what happened. Al doesn't want to hear it anyway, but the goal will not count.
27.7 seconds remaining in the opening period. 26 seconds left in the penalty on Joe Cirella. So the Islanders continue with the manpower advantage. But rather than a 2-0 lead, it's still 1-0 on a goal by Derek King. The net had been knocked off. Ray Ferraro, watch him as that shot was blocked originally. Now Ferraro will come in.
There's Ferraro coming across. Watch him make contact there. He tried to avoid the net. He didn't. Hit it. It bounced in the air. Now it's off the moorings. You can see that. As one of the Rangers, I believe that was Graves, came into the picture. But the goal does not count. Good call by the officials.
Bill McCreary caught it right away. There was no doubt. He gave the washout signal immediately. And the play is going to come back outside the Ranger blue line for a face-off. The Islanders have had 5 shots on goal through these power plays. It started with Gartner's slashing penalty, then followed by Cirella's cross-check. The Islanders cash in a 2-man advantage for a 1-0 lead. Flatley, King, and Ray Ferraro up front. Malakhov and Curver's on the point, and they'll start the power play deep in the zone. Time for one final rush, perhaps. Up to Flatley, into the middle for Ferraro. He's across the line, can't get through the Ranger defense. And it's cleared out of the zone by Zubov. This is Malakhov. Vladimir will kill off a little time and kill off the opening period at Madison Square Garden.
Pretty lackluster period at the beginning. It wasn't until the Islanders started to press a little that the Rangers took the penalties, allow them to get close enough to Richter, and Al Arbor sees his Islanders leave the ice with a 1-0 lead.
It hasn't exactly lived up to all the advanced billing yet, but after one, it is the New York Islanders 1, the New York Rangers no score. After one period at Madison Square Garden, the New York Islanders lead the New York Rangers by a score of 1-0. A period that saw 12 minor penalties called, and as we check the mobile scoring summary, we find that it was, while the Rangers were 2 men short, that Derek King got the only goal of the game. His 35th of the season, 20th via the power play. Turgeon and Malakhov assist the goal at 18:25. The mobile shots tally in the period by the Islanders 12, by the Rangers 9. The Islanders 1 for 3 on the power play, while the Rangers are 0 of 2. But it was while Gartner and Cirella served back-to-back penalties that Derek King gave the Islanders a 1-0 lead. A period that also featured some big hits. One of them directed toward the man who's guesting with Stan Fischler. Asa Tikkanen. Stan?
Well, so that first period started off with you and Darius Kasparaitis bodying off. What happened?
Well, we used to going back in Europe when we were every time against playing the Soviet. We used to fight lots, and I see it first period. He's coming in across the ice. I see it, and he's missed me. And by going back and saying something, he punched me face. But that's my game, and I have to play that game. And I know it in the back Europe he's going to punch me, so I have to take it. Everything is what's in the team. I have to do it.
What's your feeling about the first period? Give me your analysis.
Well, it was an excellent hockey game, Both teams play hard hitting, and that's what we needed. This is type playoff game, and both teams have to work hard, and who's working harder will win the game.
You had a good chance in the period. We don't see that many backhand shots. You seem to have a little trouble getting it off. Tell me about that play.
Well, I got a great pass, came low, and I got it in the right-hand side, and I think about it, I have nothing else to backhand it, and was a little weak backhanded, but I got it in the net. But that's count, and in the stick in this ice service, I have to change it. I used to play great ice service, and in Edmonton, and I have to change stick. Got it better in backhand next time.
Now, tell me about this. If you were playing in Edmonton now, you would have been out of the playoffs. You have never missed the playoffs. What do you think of the Rangers' chances right now?
Well, and right now it's good chances. We're 1 point behind on Islanders, and this is big game for both teams, and if we win this one, we're up 1-up, and last next couple weeks is hard work and best team going in the playoff, and if we can make a big effort today and next Tuesday in Washington, so hopefully we can do that.
So you've been used to the Oilers-Flames rivalry, which was very keen. This is your first taste of the Islander-Ranger rivalry. How do you feel about it? Compare them.
Well, this is both, back in Alberta, exactly same, hard hitting, lots of fights, and it's who won more win the game, will win the game.
What do you see happening in the second period? What kind of game plan do you figure for the Rangers?
Well, I think we go in the same game plan, work for checking hard and take it body, and don't let it Turgeon or free in neutral zone. One guy have to go straight ahead him and try to make plays that way. But he's a hell of a player. We have to take care of him, and they have a good team, young team working hard, and we have to work harder.
Let me ask you this. You have Mark Messier, you have Kevin Lowe. A lot of oil is on the team. Is this good for the Rangers, bad for the Rangers, having a mix like this?
Well, I don't know. Hard to say. Looking last year, Mess was here, and Grace and Boom, and they was first overall. But then in the playoff, they lost in the first round. So hopefully I can bring it more experience with the Kevin Lowe, this team, and passed in the first round, because if you pass the first round, then start going, big games, and after that we started looking forward in another round, and that's a big thing. First round is biggest in the playoff, and if we pass that one, look out, the Rangers coming.
Okay, that's the man who's brought pizzazz from Edmonton, and now Jigs McDonald.
All right, Stan, yes, from the Battle of Alberta to the Battle of New York. That's a taken-in, but the Rangers are trailing. Islanders 1, Rangers nothing. We're at the end of the first period, and our intermission continues following these words. Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. We're at the end of one period with the score. The New York Islanders 1, the New York Rangers no score. Now for Nobody Beats the Wiz, let's update the NHL scoreboard. Only one other game tonight. It's at Landover in Maryland. The Washington Caps and the Montreal Canadiens. They're in the first period, and there is no score in that game. And the Canadiens come to the Nassau Coliseum tomorrow night. We remind you that the Montreal Canadiens are in a dogfight for first place in the Adams Division. They've been tied by the Quebec Nordiques now, so an important game tomorrow, both for the Islanders in this Patrick Division race, and more so for Montreal as they try to maintain sole possession of first place in the Adams. That game will start at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Make note of the time change. The Islanders and the Canadiens tomorrow night at the Nassau Coliseum. You're up to date for Nobody Beats the Wiz. It'll be back with a look at highlights right after this.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden here in New York City. The Islanders have a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period. Not a good period as far as the spectating of it all goes, but strategy-wise, the Islanders have the edge. Mobile's going to show us the highlights of the first period. Pierre Turgeon, woo, as he puts it through Kevin Lowe's feet, races across the blue line. Watch the right pad. There, Richter shot it out quickly, made a beautiful save, held his balance, and then the same play, Esa Tikkanen raced down the ice. Tom Curvers in pursuit. Curvers forced him out. Backhand shot. Stopped by Glenn Healy. Well, the play went back and forth. There were some scoring opportunities, but not a great deal. The Islanders offside many times. The puck generally out over into the seats. A lot of souvenirs for the fans. Nothing seemed to happen until the Islanders started to gain a little bit of the edge. They started to get into the Rangers' territory, and with that, a frustrated Mike Gardner took a slashing penalty, and then behind that, Joe Cirella, and the Islanders found themselves with a two-man advantage. Derek King drilled one into the top right-hand corner. A power play goal, a two-man advantage. The Islanders went on to have another power play just after that, and a goal was scored, but it was not allowed. It went to the replay judge. He viewed it and said no. The net was knocked off the moorings, and we're going to show you that particular highlight. It was Ray Ferraro as he cut behind Mike Richter, and he bumped into the goalpost. Here Steve Thomas comes down across the blue line, and then he takes the shot. Now watch in behind Richter in goal. There's the net, of course, and here comes Ray Ferraro. He went off balance, bumped into the net, and with that bump, the net on your left to the right of the goaltender, Mike Richter, is now off its moorings when that puck went in, so it was declared no goal. We'll be back for the start of the second period in just a moment. The Rangers and the Islanders on Sports Channel.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you in part by your local Volvo dealers, who remind you to please drive safely.
With Ed Westfall, I'm Jigs McDonald at Madison Square Garden, getting ready for the second period with the score. The Islanders 1, the Rangers nothing. Now for Snapple, made from the best stuff on earth, an update on the Islanders scoring leader list. Pierre Turgeon, 49 goals, got his 69th assist in that opening period tonight. Derek King with his 35th goal. Benoit Hogue didn't figure into the goal. Vladimir Malakhov did. So it runs from Turgeon through Thomas, King, Hogue, Flatley, Norton, and Malakhov amongst the Islanders' scoring leaders and a 1-0 lead over the Rangers.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Islanders, and it's intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Islanders and Sports Channel is prohibited.
The New York Islanders outshot the New York Rangers by a margin of 3, 12-9 in the opening period, one that saw referee Bill McCreary call 12 minor penalties. Top shooter for the Rangers with 4 shots on goal, Kevin Lowe. Talk about a couple of shots. Whoever did this has no appreciation for our colleagues, do they?
I think they're great caricatures. That's Sam Rosen on the left, I understand, and on the right is John Davidson, our buddies. They're sitting right behind us here. Everybody's having a good time. I suppose, like everybody, we're wondering whether or not the game plan of the Rangers is to play the way they played in the first period. I wouldn't think so.
No, I think you'll see that change. Benoit Hogue has come to center ice. Pierre Turgeon has shifted to the left with Patrick Flatley on the right, and Messier pulled the puck back. Zubov feeds it down into the Islanders' zone. Glenn Healy will play it. That avoids an icing call against the Rangers. The puck comes up the left wing boards. Turgeon couldn't get a stick on it. Now he does and gives it to Flatley. Back to Turgeon. He'll dump it in. Richter lets it go around to the near side, and the Islanders flood the zone. Kasparaitis backing things up on the left point as the puck went to Malakhov for a shot. Just missed. Ferraro can't tip it in front. Flatley took the man. Malakhov for the drive. He scores!
Vladimir Malakhov with his hard, heavy shot. He got it through. There's the happy face of the young defenseman. Stepped up quickly. Let it go. High. Richter got some of it. There, bouncing. How frustrating for a goaltender. It just made it across the goal line. Watch again. Malakhov. There's his shot through some legs. Richter reacting at the last second. He got a piece of it. Then he tried to swat it away. Couldn't. And it's in the net. Joe Cirella. He also couldn't get to it. The Islanders, 32 seconds into the period, have a 2-0 lead.
13 goals for Vladimir Malakhov, 3 of them in games involving the Islanders and the Rangers. And this, 32 seconds into the second period, has given the Islanders a 2-0 lead. Kasparaitis rushing with the puck. Knocked down in the Rangers zone. Ferraro takes it back in the net. Kevin Lowe knocked it loose. Flatley sets up Ferraro. Turgeon moves in on him. Now Benoit Hogue gets a stick on it. Hogue at the top of the circle. Across to Kasparaitis. Centers off the pads of Richter, and there's no further play as he covers it. Hogue and Flatley got the assists on the goal by Malakhov to open up this second period.
Darius Kasparaitis trying to stir things again. This time he goes down deep, takes a pass from Benoit Hogue, fed it to the front of the net where Flatley was trying to deflect it. Ron Smith talking about areas of the game. He thought that the players had to manage their emotions properly. Talking about his own players, of course. So far, they haven't managed their hockey game, their game plan. Well, the Islanders haven't let them win, but I don't think the Rangers are skating as well as they can.
No, not at all. Not what we've seen even in recent games. The game against the Chicago Blackhawks here a week ago, or the game this past Sunday night against Quebec, where in periods and stretches they dominated but couldn't score.
That's exactly right. When you have to look at your strengths and you go with them, the Rangers' strength is in their forwards and their ability to skate, handle the puck, and maneuver, shoot the puck. The weakness of the Rangers would be their defensemen.
You think of the injuries, Brian Leach, James Patrick, Jay Wells. Patrick with a herniated disc. Leach, of course, with a broken ankle. Wells may be back. He's coming off a knee injury. Now the Islanders into the Rangers zone, only to have the puck cleared out. Pilon trying to get the play back on side, will dump it in. And Mike Richter leaves it back in the net for Kevin Lowe, one of 5 former Edmonton Oilers in this Ranger lineup. Lowe up the boards, off Demchinov. Chance stepped up but couldn't get it through Eriksson cleanly, so the Rangers dump it in. And Healy banks one off the left wing boards through Turgeon and back to the blue line. Demchinov was there. Healy sets it up for Pilon. Richard Pilon to Derek King. Turgeon moving through the middle. So was Thomas, and now Turgeon handles it off the boards. That'll force Bukaboom to chase it, and the Islanders go for a player change. Rangers on the transition come to the right. Taking it across the line. Dropped it back. Chinoff going back in the net, unable to center it. Huey Coop turns it up the boards, but didn't get it out. Ferraro did, only to have Bookeboom play it right back into the Islanders' zone. This is Patrick Flatley on to Ray Ferraro. Ferraro left side, rubbed out on the boards here as Mullen. Now Hogue steps in, he gets checked, and the Rangers able to clear the zone. Adam Graves to Gartner. Coming back was Curvers. He knocked it away from Graves for a moment. Adam Graves checked on the boards. Here's Huey Croup. Graves again with a hand into the back of Curvers' head as the Islanders shoot it down the ice. Only to be called for icing as Sorella touches up. We're 2 minutes and 32 seconds into the second period. And the Islanders with a 2-goal lead now at Madison Square Garden. Keep in mind they had a goal disallowed again in this game.
Mark Messier hasn't been able to get loose, Jigs. He probably had some of his best moves and best shots, attempts, shorthanded. So far, the Islanders have been able to get Travis Green or the defense pairings, generally Pilon with LeChance out against Mark Messier. Try to smother him. Don't let him have the open ice.
Talking to a lot of people around the league this week about the importance of this game, and you'd be surprised how many say, I hope the Islanders beat the Rangers only because of Messier and the fact that Roger Nielsen lost his job through all that went on early in the season. The disagreement, of course, dating back to the playoffs. Mark, I think, has lost some respect from people around the league.
It
Always
can change.
easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah, but it can change in a hurry if he was to have a great run here at the end of the season and get his Rangers into the playoffs. But that doesn't happen, then he's going to have to take a lot of the responsibility.
Playing with bad ribs, and the Islanders chase a loose puck, come up 2-on-1. King with Green. King shot. Handcuffed Richter, and he reaches back to take it away from Green, who thought he had an open net.
Travis Green made a mistake. He had a chance. The puck was there, but he was turning away from the net when he tried to shoot it in. He didn't get anything on it, didn't bear down. The Islanders end up with a 2-on-1 break. The Rangers get trapped again up the ice. There, a block shot. Travis Green starts down the ice. Derek King grabs the puck. Here's the shot by King, the stop, and watch Travis Green. See him kind of leaning away from the net instead of going to it. Take a look at it in reverse angle. There's the shot. Watch the skates now of the Islander player. Here, you see him leaning away instead of leaning in. And he leaned in, got a little more weight on the stick. He might have been able to power it by Mike Richter.
Travis Green has gone 18 games without a goal, and Richter makes a big save off LeChance. The Islanders winning a key face-off in the Rangers zone, and LeChance drove one from the right point.
Again, the Islanders coming up in the face-off position. There, good draw. There's LeChance, gets a shot at it. Richter got a good look because the way to the net was not blocked. Good move by LeChance, knowing when to move up, when not to.
This time, Messier wins the draw from Travis Green, and the Rangers come out on the right side. Amonte went rink wide, and LeChance broke up the pass. This is Travis Green, 3 Rangers back. He shoots just wide of Richter. Ryan Mullen puts it back in the net. That one through Delgado, and Green is denied. What an opportunity again. The Islanders trying to get the puck in a little deeper, and a bump on the boards will cost a penalty against the New York Rangers for a cross-check. One more Islander power play about to unfold. Bookeboom arguing a little with referee McCreary.
Doesn't have much argument, Jiggs, because when McCreary gave him the motion, cross-checking, Bookeboom argued with him, and he said, take a look at your stick. It's laying broken in half on the ice. Here's the play behind Richter. There's the shot. Delgado had a great opportunity, and then on the rebound, the puck wouldn't lay down. I don't think it was laying down. Here's the penalty here. Watch this. Boom. Cross-check. Broke his stick. Drops it down. That's the evidence the referee needed, even if he didn't see it. Broken stick up near the end of the shaft. Bookeboom goes to the penalty box.
Fourth power play of the game for the New York Islanders, who have had a half-dozen shots on goal thus far through the second period. And a 2-0 lead. Turgeon with King and Thomas. Curvers and Malakhov on the points. Nemchinov is able to pick up the puck and shoot it down the ice. Nemchinov and Tikkanen up front. On defense, Sorella on the right, Zubov on the left. A little miscommunication as the Islanders couldn't decide who would go for the puck. Malakhov did and then gave it away as Sorella comes in off the right point. And to Tikkanen into the slot for Sorella. King checked him and Malakhov brings it out of the zone. The pass to Turgeon on the left side. Turgeon wheels it through to Derek King. Cuts in front. Back it goes to Malakhov. He'll shoot one. Just wide of Richter. It comes back to Curvers at the left point. Into the corner for Thomas. Couldn't pinwheel that toward Turgeon, and the Rangers failed to get it out. Curvers covering the left point to King. Back it goes to Curvers. Now to Malakhov. Across to King. Thomas in the slot. Shoots Richter the save. Turgeon with it here. Turgeon gets squeezed into the boards by Sorella, and the Rangers are able to clear the zone. Vladimir Malakhov takes over at center. He's given it to Curvers. Back to Malakhov. Vladimir Malakhov gave the Islanders the 2-0 lead with a goal early in the second period. Curvers sets up Thomas with a shot off the skates of Sorella and on into the seats. It's the Islanders 2, the Rangers no score.
Steve Thomas checks up to the clock. See what period it is, see what score it is. He's been busy lately. Had a scoring opportunity a moment ago. There he is turning what they call the high slot. There's the shot. Good stop by Richter with his left pad.
Now it is Ferraro, Flatley, and Hogue on the Islander power play. Curvers and Krupp on the points. And the Rangers dumping it down at Messier in deep. Huey Krupp knocked away right out in front. Oh, it's the wide. What a chance for Messier. Out in front again, and the shot is turned aside. Pinching in there was McIntyre. McIntyre gets knocked off the puck, and it's taken by Ray Ferraro. Huey Krupp. Flatley into the middle to Ferraro. Two Rangers back as he gets across the line. Hogue with the pass into the skates of Krupp. Onto the stick. It cuts in front. Richter kicks it aside, and McIntyre dumps it down the ice.
Well, that puck changed direction in front of Richter. Good stop by Richter. The Islanders, close call. That would have been a big goal if Messier had to put it in behind Glenn Healy.
Now the penalty is about to expire. Boom steps out of the box. The Islanders get 2 shots on goal with the man advantage. Been successful on 1 of 4 opportunities on the power play. Turcotte unable to trap the puck at the Islander line, and Healy moves it up toward Benoit Hogue. Across to Brad Delgarno. Now to Travis Green. Green can't get around Zubov. Delgarno moved in, but the puck cleared away from him, and Turcotte steps over center. On into the Islander zone where he was met by Krupp. Turcotte dumped it in, and the Islanders send Malakhov back. Ryan Mullen up with the puck. On to Travis Green. He got checked to the center ice zone. Up stepped Malakhov to break up a Ranger potential rush. Sorella left the puck, and the Islanders regain control. Malakhov walking in on the left side. Rounds the net. Vladimir Malakhov went to center one that was blocked. Kasparaitis fed it right back. Malakhov's shot goes wide. Here's Mullen off the left side, and his shot was well wide of the net. Comes back to the blue line. Nick Vakota tried to dump it in front. The Rangers moving out now. Stepping up for the puck is Pilon. Got it into the zone. It's cleared back. The Ranger player without a stick was Turcotte, and he missed as you saw him swipe at the puck.
Well, he should go get a stick. He's not any good out there without one.
Well, that's not his job, is it, as a forward to be playing without a stick? The Islanders put the puck deep in the Ranger zone. David Volek with it here. Off the right side. His shot is turned aside by Mike Richter. The Islanders leading 2-0 and out shooting the Rangers 2-1 in this game. Into the zone. Kovalev and the Rangers are offside. 12 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in the second period. New York Islanders hockey is being brought to you by Mobile Super Unleaded Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Kovalev and his New York Rangers feeling the sting now of the fans. They're starting to turn on their New York Rangers. Islanders out shooting the Rangers in this period 9-1. As you pointed out, a ratio of 2-1 over the hockey game. Actually, it's a little better than that now, but Rangers can't seem to get going. They look like their feet are buried in sand. They're not skating. There's no jump, no life in their game.
This is really surprising when you consider the number of days off. They haven't played since last Sunday. Ron Smith told them to stay away from the practice facility for 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. They went back to work Wednesday. You would think that would be enough time to clear their heads of any notions that they had or things that were going wrong.
They look tentative, Jigs. They just don't play with confidence. Generally, you see a Ranger team that bounces and flies, and when you see Messier flat on his feet throughout this game so far, that's an indication.
Madison Square Garden brass gave General Manager Neil Smith a vote of confidence this week. I guess the old buzzword around hockey is that's always the kiss of death, but I think in this case they're serious. He has done an excellent job. It's the players who have let him down a little. Olczyk centers one in front of Monte to a teammate. They can't get it by Healy, and there'll be a penalty against the Islanders. Again, it was Mark Messier who had a big chance, but now the Rangers will have a power play opportunity.
Give you an example of how good a chance it was. Glenn Healy was looking over his shoulder. He dropped down on the puck with both pads. There's Messier. His drop pass to Eddie Olczyk. Messier steps in. There's his backhand shot. It's under the pads of Glenn Healy. He's not sure because those pads are thick. Can't feel the puck under them. Messier, good job fighting off a check from Brad Delgarno. Got the shot away, not a hard one, but it was on target. So the Rangers will go to the power play. Mark Messier, who's had a fairly lengthy shift, going to stay out.
Now Garno is off for hooking. The time of the penalty is 7:47 of the second period. Third power play of the game for the New York Rangers. Messier is in the middle. Amante is on the right. Gartner is on the left. Zubov at one point, Andersson at the other. And for the Islanders, Benoit Hogue will take the draw. Tom Fitzgerald is the other forward. And the two Russian defensemen, Kasparaitis and Malakhov, are together. Monte off the end boards, got checked, and the Islanders have cleared it out. Kasparaitis flipping it up in the air, and back goes Zubov. A little under 12 minutes to play now in period number 2. Zubov makes the pass to Messier. It slipped away from him. Zubov with it. He steps over the line, only to be checked. The Rangers pick it up and dump it in, and that's offside. It's Islanders 2, Rangers no score. Ready for a face-off outside the New York Islanders blue line. The situation is this. There's a minute and 34 seconds left in a hooking penalty to Brad Delgarno of the Islanders. The Islanders leading this game by a score of 2-0. Again, I remind you, if the Islanders win, they go 3 points up on the Rangers. If the Rangers win, they're a point up on the Islanders. That's 4th place in the Patrick Division. And the regular season ends 2 weeks from tonight. Each team with 8 games remaining. Zubov dumps the puck in from center. Spun up off the boards away from Healy. Mullen couldn't control it. Amante does. Feeding the point. That's Andersson. In around the boards for Tony Amante. Lets it go to Mark Messier. Messier was bumped by LeChance. Now Amante centers it back. Here's Andersson. To Zubov. Back to Andersson. Up the slot with a drive. That hit flatly and goes out of play.
Islanders tickets for the first and second rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They go on sale tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Tickets can be purchased at the Nassau Coliseum box office, Ticketmaster, or Ticketmaster charged by phone. You can call them at 516-888-9000. Once again, that's the Islanders tickets for the first 2 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They go on sale tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. 1-800-882-ISLES. You want to get some information. An update from Landover. The Washington Capitals, on a goal by Ally Afraidy, lead the Montreal Canadiens 1-0. That game has gone to the second period now. 1-0 Washington. Here it's 2-0 Islanders. They're killing off a penalty against Brad Delgarno and get the puck out of the zone. Tikkanen being hounded by Fitzgerald. Tikkanen now with the pass up to Olczyk, cutting it on goal. He shoots. Healy has it. Dives out to cover the puck after it got away. Had it, then got it back. Beautiful pass by Esa Tikkanen. He's played the point before with the Edmonton Oilers. Beautiful play as he set up Olczyk. Olczyk got in behind the Islander defenseman. There's Tikkanen. There's his pass. What a beauty. Darius Kasparaitis didn't see it and was too late. And then Malakhov, using his long strides, forced Eddie Olczyk to shoot it when he didn't want to. There's Tikkanen again. Turned, looked up the ice, and with that quick release, he got Olczyk in close. Olczyk got his shot up maybe a little too high, and Healy able to stand up and make the save. Eddie Olczyk had 20 shots on goal in the past 4 Ranger losses. Shooting percentage during that stretch, just about half of his regular season goals to shots ratio. Tikkanen covering the right point here, held the puck in after the Rangers had won the draw. Olczyk around the boards. They look to Tikkanen at the point. His shot is tipped by Krupp. Off the pads of Healy, I believe, as well. Held in by Zubov. Pilon forces him to the board. Zubov to Graves, back of the net. Can't center as Krupp is on him. Scuffle for the puck. Ends up on the stick of Alexei Kovalev.
Kovalev to the blue line. Zubov back to Kovalev off the left wing boards. Taking and moving in. They can't get the pass to him. Kovalev runs into Group, and Kovalev grabs his face and very slowly goes back toward the Ranger bench.
Good move by Huey Krupp.
Garno out of the penalty box now, so the Islanders have killed off the third Ranger power play. They did allow 2 shots on goal, but nothing too serious except that chance for Olczyk. Aikkonen centers. It went behind Messier, puts it out in front, but right to Hogue. Or Thomas, excuse me, and Turgeon and Thomas get across the line together. There's the pass to Lachance, and Messier was back covering him. Zubov trying to work it up the boards. Did get it to Messier, the Ranger captain. Now to Joey Kocur. Turned it over. King to Thomas. He's across the line. Fed Turgeon. Walks in. Shoots. Victor makes the save. Turgeon trying to put it in front. It was knocked away, and Boom moves it out towards center ice. Lachance feeds Curvers. Left side now for Derek King. Can't get over the Ranger blue line. Zubov cross ice to Messier. Lachance getting back. Messier held it, then put it off the skates of Lachance, and Healy will play it on to Steve Thomas. Thomas feeds King. 2 Rangers back. King across the line, working on Boom. Up comes Turgeon, and it jumped over his stick as he went to shoot it off the pass. The Rangers in a deficit position, trailing 2-0, can't get through center ice. 9 minutes remaining in the second period. The Islanders have moved the puck in. The Rangers trying to get it out. Kasparaitis pinching it on the left wing boards. Right into the corner for King. Back to Kasparaitis. Here's Ferraro into the slot. Richter the save, and he'll cover the puck and bring about a face-off. A great way to reward yourself after the game is with the fresh, pure, natural taste of an ice-cold Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
Long shift for Zubov. What a find for the Rangers. A 5th pick back in 1990, 4 years with the Red Army team. Here's the 2-on-1 breakout by the Islanders. They're finding some holes now regularly. There's the pass across. Turgeon, when he went to pull the trigger, the puck jumped over his stick. Turgeon a moment ago. Beautifully placed shot, kicking save by Mike Richter. Action here in the second period. The only goal, the Islanders scored that early in the period. 32 seconds. Malakhov.
Keep in mind that since these 2 teams met middle of February, a 2-point difference between the Islanders and the Rangers after that weekend home-and-home series that they split. The Islanders 2 points better than the Rangers. Lachance off the right side to Vakota, and his shot is tipped wide. David Volek trying to set up Pilon. It goes to Lachance, and his shot missed. Volek puts it in the slot. Now back to Pilon. Richard Pilon with a shot that was blocked. Gartner clears it up and out of play. 8.5 minutes remaining in this second period. We'll hear from Richard Pilon in our second intermission as he'll join Stan Fischler. Look at Zubov and the rest of the Ranger bench.
He was down in the minors for part of the season, Zubov. Seemed to do him any good. It did do him a lot of good. It seemed to gain his confidence. Here's the opportunity a moment ago. Mick Vakota changing the direction, forcing Richter to slide across, stacking the pads, and taking a scoring chance away from the Islanders. Tommy Fitzgerald, Mick Vakota, David Volek. They've got the Rangers on the run.
That's the line out against Graves. McIntyre is on the left, Kocur on the right. Joby Messier gave the puck to Andersson, who has dumped it into the Islanders' zone. Didn't get it far enough for icing, and Pilon lofts it out towards center ice. Andersson knocked it down. Fitzgerald picked it up. Couldn't get it to Vakota on that pass. So now Joey Kocur comes to the left and dumps it in for the Rangers. Healy out of the Islander net to play the puck. On to Volek. He gets hit by Joby Messier. And Andersson, covering at center, dumped it in. This is Richard Pilon. On the left side, he'll dump it in from center ice. The Islanders going for a player change. Peter Andersson moves it around the boards through the Islanders, who were changing. The linesmen have indicated no icing call, so Huey Krupp has to play the puck. Does, up the left side toward Derek King. King back into his own zone. Cross to Curvers. Ron Curvers goes to the far side. That was Thomas. Now to Krupp. Steps over center ice and shoots it in. The Islanders in pursuit. Thomas and Turgeon. Thomas steps in front of Kevin Lowe. Put it back to the net, but Boom is there. They try the right side and come to center ice. Nemchinov into the Islander zone. His pass off Krupp, who got tripped up with Gartner. Mike Gartner into the corner. Steps out of the corner with a shot that hit the outside of the net. Gartner has it again. Then it seemed to slip away from him, but right to Kevin Lowe. Healy cuts it off back in the net. Plays it away from Sergei Nemchinov. Bukaboom pinching in from the point. Gartner comes in to join the fray, and the Rangers regain control. Bukaboom. Nemchinov. Gartner's shot is tipped and right to Healy in a collision here with Tikkanen. Thomas grabbing a hold of Tikkanen. You're watching the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. This action coming to you on Sports Channel. Madison Square Garden, we have 6 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the second period. A goal by Derek King with a two-man advantage for the Islanders in the first, and then Vladimir Malakhov for the goal in the first minute of the second period, and the Islanders' lead is 2-0 over the Rangers. We saw the Rangers mishandle the puck at the point in the Islanders' zone, Ed.
All the little things, Jigs. The Rangers just can't seem to get a hold of the puck and do anything with it. No authority with the puck.
Now they come to center, and Ed Olczyk has slapped it in around the boards. Messier over on the far side, lost it, upsets Malakhov. Vladimir Malakhov, nice play. Flatley is over the Ranger line. Flatley on Zubov. Islander captain goes back in the net. The puck goes to Mullen. Round to the far side, chasing it is Travis Green, shoulder to shoulder with Cirella. Green unable to get the puck to a teammate, and here's Messier. He moved it to the right side, and Amante is into the Islander zone, trying to drive up the slot. Checked by Malakhov, loose puck picked up by Travis Green. Green looks for somebody jumping up on the play, found him, it's Delgarno. He's across the line, trying to move in on Zubov, got chased wide, then centered out in front, and here's Mullen, and he can't trap the puck in time to shoot it. The Rangers move to center. This is Messier. With Koser coming up the right side. Joey Koser trying to cut in front. Did. And the puck comes right back and is shot wide. Healy bumped around to the goal mouth. Gets away from the fray as Delgarno gave it to Pilon, and he's cleared it out. Ranger player Koser has just now been released by Ray Ferraro and LaChance, who had him tied up in the goal mouth. The Ranger crowd buzzing about that. Here are the Rangers over the line. Kovalev stick handling. A backhand shot turned aside by Healy. Flatley takes the man. The net has come off. Pilon and Koser are ready to go. And a couple of other guys decide it's time to get into the fisticuffs. Healy is down on his knees, away from what you're watching. The concern on the Islander bench right now is goaltender Glenn Healy, who is down on his knees, and trainer Ed Taberski has come out to attend to him. There he is.
One of the Rangers ran him back into the goalpost, into the crossbar. I believe it was Kovalev. Healy being attended to. Ed Taberski. Some of the cooler heads prevailing. Good to see. Ferraro and Graves a hold of each other. Koser and Pilon end up eye to eye once again. Take a look as the Rangers trying to cook something up. Darting down the ice. That's Kovalev, very shifty. There, goes to the backhand. There's his shot. Good stop by Healy. And then Kovalev keeps going. Ooh. He was checked by LaChance, but he could have stopped. He opted to keep going and run into Healy. There's Kovalev again. There's his shot. Stop. There. You see him lean on his right skate so he could cut into the goaltender and give him a wrap. Have to wait to see now and hear what the referee. LaChance took him down. Ferraro then went after him. But there's the shot. Good stop here by Healy. Hasn't had a lot of business, and then he gets whacked by Kovalev. Pilon is heading off the ice. Got a look at Billy Smith as the camera panned that into the rink where the Islanders enter and exit, and Richard Pilon.
He and Koser got involved after you saw the initial thing between LaChance and Kovalev. So Bill McCreary, who is tonight's referee, has some penalties to assess. Now we watch Koser leave. Here are the penalties.
Receives 2 minutes for roughing. Number 47, the Islanders, Rich Pilon, receives a 10-minute misconduct penalty.
Misconduct penalty is called on Richard Pilon, and I would imagine that's the same on Koser.
And 2 minutes for goaltender interference.
Kovalev 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for goaltender interference. That's the penalty there. He gets 2 for that, 2 for roughing.
Out of this, the Islanders will have a power play opportunity. These penalties at the 14:39 mark of the second period. Ron Smith's team to be shorthanded for the 5th time in the game. Angered Ron Smith. Anytime you replace your friend in a job that you've wanted all your life, a head coaching position in the NHL, but it's a friend who has lost his job, never easy. And this 44-year-old from Galt, Ontario, now Cambridge, if you're looking at the map of Ontario, has done quite a job here, although recently the folks have been concerned about the lack of goals, the lack of cohesive play, goals against down a little bit. But overall, only a .500 record, 14-14-7 under Ron Smith. Monte will serve the penalty, the extra penalty on Kovalev. The Islanders have sent out Turgeon, Thomas, and King with Kurvers and Malakhov on the points. Malakhov giving the puck to Kurvers, then right back to Vladimir Malakhov. On to Tom Kurvers, right side to Derek King. Thomas trailing. King sets up Kurvers. Across now to Malakhov. Into Turgeon. 2 Rangers go to him. Thomas took the puck. Looks for somebody in the slot. There's Kurvers with a shot that missed. Comes back to the near side, and the Rangers do clear the zone. Malakhov hustling back with Eriksson on him. Malakhov gave it to Healy. Round the net to Malakhov.
Refreshing to see the defenseman use his goaltender. He's got his back to the play. It's a smart play, Jigs, because he doesn't know what's going on behind him, and he's got a Ranger bearing down on him heavily. That was Eriksson.
As long as your goaltender stays awake, huh?
Oh, yeah, he'd be awake.
Now the Rangers clear the zone, and the Islanders will have to go back with 4 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the second period.
Mark Fitzpatrick and Glenn Healy both expect things like that from Vladimir Malakhov. He does it more than any other player on the Islanders.
Now the puck stays in the Islander zone after coming off King's skates. So then Chinov carries it back in the net. He's met by Yui Krupp, who rides him into the boards. King backing it up, digs the puck off the boards. Thomas moves out, so does Turgeon. The pass went to Pierre Turgeon. Across the Ranger line, but checked. Tikkanen drags it back in. 33 seconds remaining in this Islander power play. Tom Kurvers at the blue line. Trying to get away from them. Chinov could not. The Rangers moving on into the Islander zone. Turgeon stepped in front of Tikkanen, who picks it up again. Skied it out in front, back to the line for Sorella. Fires, Healy the save, the rebound, Messier shot off the goalpost. The Islanders fail to clear it, however. Tikkanen goes to the boards, tied up there with Krupp. Turgeon can't control it. Messier failed to center it out, and here's Steve Thomas clearing the zone for the New York Islanders.
Islanders in big trouble on their power play. Messier now with 2 good scoring chances in this game, both of them shorthanded.
Thomas digs the puck off the boards, but can't get it to Hogue. Zubov sends a man across the line. Monte gets checked. Zubov into the slot, a backhander, they score!
They love him here in New York. The Rangers, shorthanded, have several opportunities. Stepping up was Zubov as he passed it to Olczyk, and he has the hand. He's very good when you leave him alone in front of the net. Zubov carried the mail. 3 Islanders go sliding after Zubov. That leaves Olczyk all alone, and he put it in the top right-hand corner. The Rangers have cut the lead in half. They were in big trouble. Messier gets a scoring chance shorthanded, and things break down for the Islanders.
Zubov and a Monte on the assist as Olczyk has scored a dozen now as a Ranger and 20 on the season. He came over here from Winnipeg in that deal that sent Ty Domi and Chris King on to Western Canada, and the puck is skied over the boards. It's now the Islanders 2, the Rangers 1. Each team with 8 games remaining after tonight's contest is over, and right now it is the Islanders 2, the Rangers 1. 2 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the second period. Tom Fitzgerald with David Follick and Patrick Flatley for the Islanders. Turcotte pulled the puck back, and this is Peter Andersson playing it high up around the glass, out through center, on into the Islander zone. Darius Kasparaitis back to put a stick on it. Icing against the Rangers.
Just thinking about prior to the Rangers getting that goal, when you think in this hockey game, Adam Graves, Messier, Gartner, Amonte, Olczyk, hadn't really, although Olczyk had a couple of scoring chances earlier in the hockey game, and Messier has picked up some shorthanded opportunities, but the offense had them going nowhere. I think the Islanders got trapped out on the ice with that power play. They'd been out there for quite a bit of the power play, and then when the Rangers jumped on them in their own end of the ice, 1, they can't get off, 2, they're tired, and 3, they're frustrated. They're running all over the place, and Olczyk ended up all by himself.
Now Fitzgerald wins the draw. Malakhov off the right point. The shot was blocked by Mike Richter. Kasparaitis puts it back in the goal. This is Flatley into the high slot, but Graves is there, and the Rangers are out of the zone. Gartner runs head first into Kasparaitis. Now the Rangers' Adam Graves puts it deeper in the zone, and Tommy Fitzgerald, with a chance to move it out, does. Through everybody, however, and you'll hear a whistle for icing. Olczyk with his 20th goal, 6 consecutive seasons now that he has scored 20, 8 times in his 9-year NHL campaign, and you're looking at Mike Gartner, who's got 40 again this year. Gartner, 9 40-goal seasons, 4 in a row. You know, it was 21 years ago tonight, Ed, in the last game of the regular season, that Vic Hadfield scored his 50th goal of the season for the New York Rangers, a loss to the Montreal Canadiens. But Vic on that gag line 21 years ago.
Wow, 21 years ago. When you think of the Islanders, they're 50-goal scorers. Mike Bossy led that, as he has the NHL, holds that record. 9 consecutive seasons, 50-plus. Trottier had it once. LaFontaine had 50 goals once.
Now LaFontaine, the last Islander to do it. Pierre Turgeon is poised. The Islanders again are called for having iced the puck. Turgeon with 49 coming into tonight's game. Zubov has set up the goal by Olczyk. The other assist to Amonte at 16:53 in this second period. The Rangers go to Washington for a game on Sunday, while the Islanders entertain the Montreal Canadiens at the Nassau Coliseum tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And the update from Landover, the Capitals have taken a 3-0 lead over Montreal. Iafrate, as we reported, plus Vondra and Elenuck getting the goals for Washington. Messier on the draw. Green was pulled back and let Messier win it. The Islanders failed to get it out. This is Zubov, and the pass is behind Mark Messier, who reached back to take Hogue down. Lachance steps up and clears the puck away from Sorella. Mark Messier puts it back in the net. Zubov moves it around to the open side, but out towards center, and Lachance will drive it right back in again. On the right side is Delgarno. Zubov ties him up. Travis Green comes in, trying to dig it off the boards, and does. Now to Delgarno. He left it for the point man moving in. That's Huey Krupp. Center. Green is there. Bangs it at Richter. He's covered it. No, it's banged in and then waved off. The whistle had already sounded. Again, the washout signal from referee Bill McCreary.
That has Al Arbour up on the back of the bench once again, wondering what's going on here. Of course, with the noise of the crowd, no one can hear. Richter got his left pad out. He was in trouble. Travis Green was there in front. Good play here by Huey Krupp. He moved up quick, grabbed a loose puck, fed it to the front of the net. There's Travis Green. Fights off a check. Then he backhands it. The puck is still loose. You can see the referee in the background. When Richter rolled his pad over on the puck, he blew the whistle. Take another look as Huey Krupp there from that point moved it to the front of the net. There's the loose puck. Whoa. Pretty quick whistle. That's what the argument of the Islanders are. Pierre Turgeon still talking with Bill McCreary. Listen for the whistle on the play.
White man moving in. That's Huey Krupp. Center. Green is there. Bangs it at Richter. He's covered it. No, it's banged in and then waved off. Wow, was that close. This bugaboo has jumped up and bitten the Islanders several times in recent games. King with a shot that didn't get through. Thomas out of the far corner looks for Kasparaitis. Lets the shot go instead. It's in the slot and cleared. Kevin Lowe banks it off the boards. Didn't get it out. Darius Kasparaitis can't get it into a teammate in time, and Malakhov recovers at center. King gave it right back to the Islander defenseman, then to Steve Thomas. Turgeon on the right as Thomas dumps it in. King trying to get away from the tight checking of Eriksson. Puts it around the far boards. Malakhov gets to it. The 19-minute mark of period 2 has arrived. 2-1. Islanders leading the Rangers at Madison Square Garden as Malakhov takes the puck back in deeper. Trying to get away from Jan Eriksson. The feed through King will be shot right back in by Bookeboom. Healy, who had gone just over 95 minutes without allowing a goal, gets some help, and the Islanders move to center. Derek King shot it off Bookeboom. Turcotte cleared it out. King tied up on the boards. Casper Reiter steps up in the play, but the Rangers get to the puck. Here's Tikkanen with Turcotte going to the net. The pass just out of his reach. Huey Krupp reaches back, plays it away from Turcotte. Thomas freed it up for Turgeon with 22 seconds remaining in the period. Turgeon steps over center and dumps the puck into the Ranger end. First period ended 1-0 Islanders. And in 12 seconds, the second period will end. Turcotte gets across the Islander line. LeChance trying to knock it away from him. Turcotte off the end boards, trying to center with 2 seconds left. Gartner puts it in front. The horn will beat the Rangers, and it's still a 1-goal lead for the New York Islanders.
A tight checking hockey game. The Islanders hold on to a 1-goal lead. Twice in this hockey game they've had goals taken back, both justified.
So we've come to the end of 2 periods at Madison Square Garden. There's your score. The New York Islanders 2, the New York Rangers 1. Our second intermission in just a moment. After 2 periods at Madison Square Garden, it is the Islanders 2, the New York Rangers 1, and here is your game summary for mobile. In the opening period, the Islanders score on a 2-man advantage. Derek King's 35th goal of the season came at 18:25, assist to Turgeon and Malakhov. The Islanders out of the period with a 1-0 lead. At the 32-second mark of the second period, they go up 2-0. Vladimir Malakhov's 13th goal of the season, just sneaking by Richter. Hogan Flatley assist, and the Islanders maintained that lead until 16:53 when Ed Olczyk scored his 20th goal. Zuboff and Amante assisted for the New York Rangers. That just after they had killed off a penalty, and the Rangers beat Healy at 16:53. The mobile shots tally, 12-9 Islanders in the first period, 14-9 in the second, outshooting the New York Rangers 26-18, and are 1 for 5 on the power play. The Rangers are 0 of 3. Richard Pilon, getting a misconduct penalty, is well rested. He joins Stan Fischler.
Thank you very much, Jigs. This is the kind of game that Richie Pilon has got to like. Am I right?
Definitely. It's probably the biggest game of the year for us, and it's a game where there's going to be a lot of hitting. You know, they have Adam Graves up there running around a bit, and Joey Kosher. So it's the game where I have to step up and and try and keep those guys in line.
I was standing right behind the glass in the first period when you and Kosa went nose to nose. What was happening there?
I think he's right. We were definitely taking a play to him. I think he was just trying to do his job and start something with me, and try and get his team going. But with the way things have been going, I've been getting a lot of ice time in that. So I just I'm trying to stay on the ice as much as I can right now. And but it's been going on for a while since Joey Kosher's been here. We've always been going at it pretty good.
How tough is self-restraint in a situation like that? To keep from belting a guy.
It's very tough right now because But when you're going to do stuff like that, I think you have to do that at the beginning of the year. You have to set the pace, set the tone at the beginning of the year. Right now, you're not going to accomplish anything. You could hurt the team more than anything.
First goal disallowed by the referee. What was your view of that?
Well, we thought it was there. Like we didn't know. We thought it was an early whistle at the start, and then Patrick Flatley came back and said it was because the net was off the post. So we thought, well, usually I initially thought that whenever the net's off the post, but in the perimeter of the net area, the goal goes in, it counts, but I guess not. Nothing changed it overnight.
Got to carry a lawyer around on the bench. Why did you get the misconduct and not a 2-minute?
I don't even know. I think just because he knows that we've been started in the first period, I think he's just trying to control the game out there more than anything. We would have been better off to fight and get 5 instead of sitting out for 10.
Okay, Richie. Nice going. We'll see you soon. Jigs McDonald.
All right, Rich Pilon has missed 37 games with assorted injuries this season, but right now he and the Islanders lead the Rangers 2-1. More from Madison Square Garden, including a visit with the commissioner right after this.
Watch Sports Channel and find out.
King to Turgeon and scores! Zabak centered, so Hogan scores! Oh, what a stop by Mark Fitzpatrick! Lemieux to Holing, score! The pass to the chance, he scores!
The Islanders face off with the visiting Montreal Canadiens. Live tomorrow at 8 on Sports Channel.
The Battle of New York on Sports Channel. Islanders 2, Rangers 1, and now 4. Nobody beats the Wiz. This update on the NHL scoreboard. The only other game tonight at Washington. Elenuk, Bondra, and Iafrate with the goals, and the Caps lead the Canadiens by a score of 3-0. Big week in NHL history, and the commissioner, Mr. Gary Bettman, joins Stan Fischler.
Thanks very much, Jiggs. Commissioner Bettman, the realignment, a rather major event in the history of the National Hockey League. Why was it done?
We have 2 new teams coming in for next season, and I wanted to do a schedule.
Okay, now a lot of fans from the old school were a little bit concerned about removing the names like Norris, Adams, and Patrick. What was behind that?
Well, as I've been saying all along, if there's a way that we can make the game a little more user-friendly, a little easier for fans, both our current hardcore fans and new fans to follow, we were going to do it. I've had a lot of general managers who over the last few months have told me they have trouble remembering in an instant where the teams were located, which division, which conference. We didn't mean any disrespect. In fact, we're going to keep trophies for the division winners in the names of what the conferences and divisions used to be, and hopefully that'll pay the appropriate respect.
Garden oozing with excitement tonight after 2 periods. A very exciting hockey game. Tell me how the New York rivalry will be affected by the realignment and the new schedule.
Actually, hopefully it will continue to be an intense rivalry, as will the rivalry with these 2 teams and the Devils, the 3 local teams, all of whom will be in the Atlantic. They will play each other 5 times. They'll play the teams in the other division 4 times. There are going to be some new rivalries that develop as well. We're going to see Montreal a little bit more. We're going to see Quebec a little bit more, Boston a little bit more, Buffalo a little bit more. And I think when we get into the conference-based playoffs, we're going to see a lot more teams and some intense rivalries developed. We're going to keep the old ones, but we're going to turn on some new ones.
Commissioner, a lot of people in New York focusing on the recent NBA brawl, pointing out that the NBA has been moving more toward that kind of rough stuff, and the NHL away from it. You being a former basketball man, your analysis of it.
I think characterizations and generalizations are sometimes overblown. I think the NBA is a sport, and I know David Stern does everything possible and will do everything possible to keep fighting down and eliminate it. There have been a few incidents. I wouldn't make too much out of it. Our game's a different game. It's continuous, nonstop, fast-paced, hard-hitting action. Occasionally we have a fight. I think the perception in our sport has it overblown as well. But I wouldn't make too much of a big deal of it in the NBA's case.
Okay, thanks very much. And now we go back to Jiggs McDonald.
The word fast-paced, that phrase kind of typifies what the new commissioner has done in 2 months in office. The Islanders lead the Rangers 2-1. We've played 2 periods at Madison Square Garden. Ed will be back with a look and highlights right after this.
Hey guys, what are you doing this summer?
We're sailing to Bermuda on the SS Meridian. Dennis Potvin, Jerry Hart, Jiggs McDonald, and Eddie Westfall will join us. And you fans should too.
You'll depart August 1st from New York and spend 7 fun-filled days with the Islanders.
We'll have a private cocktail reception, photo and autograph session.
Isles trivia contest with prizes, a great beach party, and much more.
It's the ideal family vacation.
Call for info on the Islanders Fan Appreciation Cruise, presented by Sports Channel. All-inclusive rates start at $869.
Hey, Glenn, nice legs.
We're here at Madison Square Garden. We finished the second period. It hasn't changed. The Islanders led by 1 at the end of the first. They continue to lead by 1 at the end of the second. Mobile's going to show us the 2 goals that were scored in the second period very quickly. 32 seconds into the period, Vladimir Malakhov moved in from the point position. This is a reverse angle, so don't get confused by it. It's just looking from the other side. Malakhov's shot, a heavy one, his 13th of the season, assisted by Hogan Flatley, and the Islanders had what they didn't get at the end of the first period, which was a goal that was called off. Throughout the period, particularly early in the second period, the Islanders outplayed the New York Rangers. The Rangers couldn't find their skating legs. They couldn't continually make passes to each other. They were in the skates. They were behind. Their offense fluttered throughout the period. Mark Messier had a couple of excellent scoring opportunities, both of them while the Rangers were shorthanded. And it was off that flurry that Mark Messier got a scoring chance that the Rangers were able to continue it. They had the Islanders' power play out on the ice and trapped in their own end of the ice. The Islanders continually ran around, and when we get to showing you the replay of the Ranger goal, you'll see the Islanders all darting to one side of the ice. Zubov led the play up the ice. Here he is. Look at the Islanders. 1, 2, 3, all chasing him, and then the backhand shot by Eddie Olczyk. Messier assisted along with Zubov, and the Rangers had cut the Islanders' lead in half. We'll be back to start the third period in just a moment. The Rangers and the Islanders, right here on Sports Channel. Now it's time for the MCS Canon Teamwork Moment. That's brought to you by the team of Canon Technology and MCS Service. One is a great reason to buy the other. Well, the Islanders had a break in the first period. They had a two-man advantage, and here they're moving the puck around well. Malakhov to Turgeon. There's King, and that's a shot by Derek King in under the crossbar. A teamwork moment. MCS and Canon. Goal scored by Derek King. That was the first goal of the hockey game near the end of the first period, making it 1-0. Of course, Malakhov made it 2, and then Eddie Olczyk scored for the New York Rangers as they get ready to face the Islanders here in the third period, trailing by 1.
Nice of the new commissioner, Mr. Gary Bettman, to drop by and visit with Stan in our second intermission.
Yes.
A lot of people concerned about the dropping of the names, Patrick, Nora, Smythe, and what was the other?
What are your initial thoughts?
Well, after 19 years of using the names of the various divisions, I'm sure, as the commissioner said, there are a lot of people who still don't know what teams are in what division. And it's time for change. I think a lot of people have advocated that for many years, and through the old Board of Governors and their thinking, it was never agreed on. You could never get enough people to agree, obviously, but I kind of like the idea of modernizing, streamlining it, if you will, with the Atlantic, Northeast, Central, and Pacific. And the fact that they've kept trophies and the names of the Norris family, the Patrick, the Smythe, and who was it I'm missing? Adams, of course. So the third period gets underway. The Islanders with a 2-1 lead. Delgarno into forecheck. Travis Green and Brian Mullen, the other forwards for the Islanders. Zubov to the right side, and Sorella clears it out through center off Mullen's stick. It's picked up by Messier. Kasparaitis got a chunk of him. Now Messier plays it around the end boards, and over comes Delgarno. Got it to the line, not out. Gartner floated one wide. Messier, a man on a mission, turns it over, however. Malakhov plays it back in the net. There is Kasparaitis around the boards. And Delgarno trying to center, lost it. Zubov slips it to the side of the net. Healy covers the goalpost and grabs the puck. The Rangers trying to step up the tempo at the start of this third period.
They did step it up, Jigs. They stepped it up big time. They're following Mark Messier. He knows that he's got to lead this Ranger team. If they're going to win the hockey game, he's got to make himself work a little bit harder, get some skating room. And here the Rangers continually in the Islanders' end of the ice. Healy grabbing the puck, stopping it. For the Rangers, as Messier got things started for the Rangers, important for them that they continue that with the next line out. Of course, the Islanders going to have Pierre, Turgeon out. You can expect Eriksson. Yes, he's out there. Nemchinov, Tikkanen. Eriksson, Tikkanen, two of the outstanding defensive forwards in the league.
Eljuslo and Bukaboom is the defense combination against this forward line. Huey Krupp on one side of the Islander defense. Scott LeChance on the other. This is Benoit Hogue. Shot it off the pads of Richter, and a big rebound. Gathered up and cleared by Bukaboom. An off group. Hogue comes racing back to step in front of Nemchinov. LeChance to Turgeon off his stick, right to Bukaboom. He drives it in from center ice. Huey Krupp in the exchange here with Glenn Healy. Moves it up the left side. Derek King gets checked. Tikkanen drops the puck back, but King got a stick on it. Turgeon guided it onto the stick of Steve Thomas. Thomas trying to move around low, dropped it back. Here's LeChance into the slot, and the shot was steered aside and then cleared out by the Rangers. Vladimir Malakhov on to Pierre Turgeon. Turgeon over the Ranger line as things open up a little. He can't get the pass through. It comes loose in front, and Turgeon guided it wide. Now the Rangers with a chance to move it out. Bukaboom does. The pass to Eriksson to Tikkanen right at the end of a shift, and the Rangers have dumped it in. Played nearly 2 minutes of the third period. Andersson covering the left point, shoots, Healy the save, and he comes right back and off Healy into the corner. Another big chance for the New York Rangers. Out in front, Graves with a shot, that went wide of the net. Peter Andersson races in, keeps the puck in play for the Rangers, puts it back in the net, but there's Kasparaitis up the boards toward King, and he's tapped it outside the Islander blue line.
What a good scoring opportunity for Amante.
Now the Rangers come to center. Peter Andersson fires it around the far boards. Flatley reaches back. The puck goes loose. The Rangers get control of it. That's Kovalev. Bumped by Flatley. Kovalev right back on the puck. Flatley on Kovalev. Kasparaitis there as well. Fan on his effort to pick it up. Malakhov comes out on the right side, leading the Islander rush. Vladimir Malakhov cuts to the left at the Ranger line. Pulls up on Andersson, and then the puck slipped away right to Kovalev. He missed the check from Ferraro. Up to Amante. The Islanders trying to change up as Amante comes over center ice. Shoots from the blue line. Healy the save, and LaChance handles the rebound. Scott LaChance to Patrick Flatley, who bumped the linesman, and down goes Flatley, and the Rangers can't get the puck back into the Islander zone. Now they will. Gartner on the right side, 3-on-1. Gartner shoots. Healy makes the save, and the puck comes to Flatley. Up to Benoit Hogue, now to LaChance. LaChance runs into Sorella, and then LaChance was taken to the boards heavily as the Rangers control it again. Zuboff overled Gartner. Loose puck in the Islander zone. Icing the call against the Rangers. And again, some pushing and shoving after the whistle.
What an opportunity by Mark Gardner. The Rangers stepping up the tempo. The Islanders are caught flat-footed. Gardner goes in a 2-on-1 break. Teaming up with Eddie Olczyk, he opted to shoot it, and a good stop, good standing save by Glenn Healy. Andersson from the point, a screenshot here, he held it then shot it. Stop, there's Amante with the rebound, and Healy was able to make the save off of him from close in. And here's the play moments after that. Mike Gardner, 2-on-1 break. Huey Krupp backing up, trying to stay between the two. Healy looking awkwardly, but he got the job done. He turned the stick over as Gardner got ready to shoot. He was trying to protect the low ice to his right.
Travis Green out against Mark Messier now as we get back to live action here at Madison Square Garden. Tom Curvers back in defense, plays the puck off the right wing boards, and Sorella steps in front of Delgarno. Out of the corner comes Zuboff. Zuboff with Green moving in front of him. The pass to Olczyk, who has dumped it into the corner. Healy out of the net. Plays it toward Kasparaitis. On to Travis Green. To Delgarno, who dumps it out toward center ice. Zuboff went back. Gave it to Kevin Lowe. Excuse me, Joe Sorella. Sorella and Zuboff together on this defense. The Rangers didn't get it out. Mullen dumps it back in the net. Richter leaves it for Zuboff. In comes Delgarno, trying to put it out in front. Mullen lets a shot go that hit the outside of the net. Mullen again, a sharp angle shot blocked at the defense as Sorella was down. And Messier starts the play. Stick handling through center, 3 Islanders back. Messier trying to drive through, is taken out at the defense, and there'll be a penalty. The Rangers to the power play right after this break.
Kevin Lowe waiting for his skates to work on. John Van Beesbrook, the backup goaltender for tonight. We're back to the 11th of March in Chicago. As we take a look at the penalty here, it was a holding penalty. At first I thought they had Kasparaitis, but it was a holding penalty to Tom Curvers. I'll get to the story about Van Beesbrook when we get a chance.
Rangers spinning the puck in from the Islander blue line. LaChance on a chunk of Gartner, who's down on the end boards and hasn't moved. And now as Healy handles the puck, referee Bill McCreary is calling the play. Concerned about Gartner. There was no penalty indication, but LaChance clearly got him.
Couldn't see what LaChance did to him, but the referee was standing looking in that area. That's where the play was. Gardner is not a player that goes down and stays down easily.
This season he has already passed Dan Mikita, Rocket Richard, Johnny Busick, Guy Lafleur, and Mike Bossy, and here's what happened.
See, when he went down on the ice, he went down backwards, and I believe that when his tailbone landed, he snapped his head backwards onto the ice, shaking him up.
He'll catch Bobby Hull next season in all likelihood to become the 5th highest goal scorer in the history of the NHL, and down he goes.
Landed on his tailbone and it jarred him so hard. He seemed to reach there. You see him reaching for his neck? I think that's what happened. He snapped his neck a little bit when that jar came. When you land that way, your feet snap and your head snaps.
Now Glenn Healy has found a burr on his skate blade. We've got a delay as they bring a stone out, and Kevin Lowe, who's had a skate problem, is having it attended to.
Now Glenn Healy is, or has he got a strap problem? I think he had a strap hanging, and they got a pair of scissors from John Doolan and cut the strap off.
You're right. I thought the way he was maybe just taking the buildup of snow off his blade, he appeared to be asking for a stone, I thought, but wrong again. Turcotte, as you see him line up on this Ranger power play, still 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the holding penalty against Tom Curvers. Olczyk is wide here on the left side. They can't get the puck to him. Flatley dumped it down the ice, and Turcotte will pick it up. Ian Andersson, the point man on the power play. Messier comes down the left wing boards as Turcotte shoots it in high. Healy out of the net to play it. Rushed by Turcotte, but there's LeChance turning it out of the zone. And Peter Andersson goes back for the New York Rangers. Andersson up the left side. Olczyk dumps it in. Healy plays it up around the boards through Messier. Flatley tips it away from Andersson. Patrick Flatley kicks it up ahead, picks it up again. Flatley drops it to Krupp. In off the wing, and he is checked from behind by Messier. Rangers come out on the right side. That's Olczyk after taking the pass, dropping it for Graves now. Adam Graves turns on Krupp. Makes the pass back. Turcotte across to Andersson. Centers back to Turcotte. He fires. That just went wide and comes out of the zone. Back go the New York Rangers.
That's twice now. Andersson floated one in from the point, and Healy didn't see it. He had to react to it after it hit him.
Now the Rangers step over the line. Amante on left wing, zigzagging here, and a shot went off Malakhov. Gartner onto the puck, drops it off to Turcotte. Into the corner, Kasparaitis is standing there waiting for it, slaps it off the boards and down the ice, right to Richter. Now 24 seconds remaining in the penalty to Tom Curvers. Rangers have had one shot on goal on this power play. Amante is across the line. Kovalev trying to move in on Malakhov. Kovalev centers. That's tipped and will come out towards center ice.
Sometimes standing in the right position, as Benoit Hogue was, pays off. He was able to deflect it into the middle of the ice.
Final 4 seconds of this power play. Bookeboom lofts it toward the corner. Healy came out to play it. Around to the open side. There's Malakhov. Up the right side to Tom Curvers. Curvers backhands it toward Richter. Play it off to Zubov, who's flushed from behind the net by Turgeon. The puck came to the line, recovered by the Rangers, and at center ice, Kovalev got to the line, but no further. Rangers send Jeff Bookeboom back into his own zone. It is the Islanders 2, the Rangers 1, with just a little more than 13 minutes to play in the third period. Eric King slaps it around the boards. To the right side goes Thomas. Let the puck come back to Turgeon. Turgeon centers. King was well covered. That's Jan Eriksson. He taken off, and then Chinoff come to center for the Rangers, and the play broken up at the New York Islanders blue line. Scott LeChance clears the zone. Bookeboom brings it across the line, taken into the front of the net. Now Nemchinov drives the net. They crash there. Loose puck in front is shot wide. And Chinoff leaves it in the corner. And then he gets knocked down. The centering pass by Bookeboom is blocked. Comes right back. Nemchinov off the wing. Fakes once, freezing the defense. Now he goes to center it. Low from the point. Healy the save. The penalty call against the Islanders. It is still a 2-1 lead. But the Islanders are going to be shorthanded because of an interference call.
The Rangers have them on the run again, and the Islanders forced to take a penalty. What a job by Healy again as he comes up with a fine save. Puck in the center ice area. Scott LeChance makes a big mistake at the blue line. That allows the Rangers in. There's the crash. That was the penalty, I believe. There was the backhand shot that Healy got a piece of.
A chance for interference is the penalty call.
There the Islanders clearly in trouble as the Rangers, there on the left side of your frame on Esa Tikkanen. Scott LeChance took him out. He wasn't involved with the puck, so he gets the gate. Rangers, wow, out shooting the Islanders now 7-1 here in the third period.
On the power play, it'll be Mark Messier. Gartner to the right, Amante to the left. Zubov on one side of the defense. Turcotte is the other point man as Benoit Hogue steps in and a little too quickly. Mark Vines lets him stay in the face-off circle. Messier pulled the puck back. Turcotte gave it to Zubov. Behind the back pass to Messier. Messier to Zubov. Fires up the slot. Blocked by Healy, and Hogue recovers and gets the Islanders out of the zone. Mike Richter playing around the end boards to Zubov. Back into the corner. This is Turcotte with it now. Darren Turcotte lugs it toward center. Fed Messier. Kasparaitis slowed him up, and Fitzgerald dumps it down the ice.
Kasparaitis has had the number of Messier all night long, every chance he gets. That was a good hit by Kasparaitis. He got enough of him to shake him off the puck.
Now Amante is bumped off the puck by Flatley, but Zubov is there. Cross ice it goes. Turcotte slaps it around the boards. It didn't go around, did it? It came off a skate and is called back on an offside. It's Islanders 2, Rangers 1. As you look at New York Islander coach Al Arbour, who amongst us would have thought that on this Friday night in April, the Rangers and the Islanders would be battling here, one in 17th place overall, the other in 16th overall, and there's a chance for the Rangers that didn't materialize. The puck comes back, Messier on the left side, the top of the circle, centered it back, and that shot skips into the net. Tied 2-2.
That's a break for the Islanders. That went off Huey Krupp's skates. Take a look. Here's the shot. Boom. Twice. There it goes. Off Huey Krupp in behind Glenn Healy. And the Rangers on a power play. Bingo, bango, bongo. There's the pass back. There's one off Mullen, off Huey Krupp. And in behind Glenn Healy. It's a tie hockey game. Watch again. That's Messier as he passes it back, one-timing it. Mullen, Huey Krupp had hit both of his legs. His right leg, his left leg, and then in behind Glenn Healy.
Peter Andersson shot the puck. It pinballed around as you see the game tied 2-2. A power play goal, the penalty to the chance, costing the Islanders as it turns out, and the game is brand new at 2. Nemchinov lobs the puck into the Islanders zone. Comes in off the left side and is met by LaChance. Eric King plays it up the boards. Through Turgeon, through the Rangers as well. There'll be no icing as the puck rolls deep into the Rangers zone and Bookeboom goes back. Jeff Bookeboom backhands it up to Tikkanen. Tikkanen comes to center ice. Eriksson with him. So is Nemchinov. Tikkanen slowed up by Pilon. They go to the boards heavily. Eriksson comes in. The puck still in play. Loose now, and the Rangers, Nemchinov gets to it. Back to the point for Kevin Lowe. He centers it in front. Tikkanen slips it into the goal mouth, only to have Healy clear it for Steve Thomas. Out to the left side for King. Turgeon with him. They crisscross at the Ranger line. King with a pass to Thomas. Thomas driving on Bookeboom. Eriksson knocked it loose. Nemchinov tried to clear it out. Could not, but up steps Bookeboom, and he's dumped it down the ice. Again, icing is waved off. Still 10 and a half minutes to play in the third period. This is Darius Kasparaitis rushing with the puck. Across the Ranger line, he shoots. Richter has it in the catching glove, dropped it off, and then covers it for a face-off. Andersson gets the goal with assists to Messier and Amante at the 8:26 mark of this third period, tying the game 2-2.
For the Islanders, it's important that they bring the play back to the Rangers, something they haven't been able to do so far in this period. Pilon and Tikkanen. There, number 47 in the dark. Got Tikkanen bent over, his head down, kept putting him down, then finally had to pull him down. Tikkanen battling away with Richard Pilon. That's what they call trench warfare.
Tikkanen having the shoulder pads adjusted at the Ranger bench as play gets underway. Sorella around to the right side for Alexei Kovalev. That's Ferraro on him. Kovalev slipped away from the check. Tries to put a move on Curvers. Now goes back of the net, and Huey Krupp took the puck and clears the zone. Zubov will pick it up for the New York Rangers. Up the middle with a pass to Adam Graves. On to Kovalev. He is checked. Graves recovers. Graves centers it across. It bounced over the stick of Krupp. Monte gets it to the blue line. Zubov holding it in. Krupp gets it out of the Islander zone. Cross-ice passes to Hogue. Couldn't go anywhere with it. Here's Monte. Kovalev trailing. Monte with a shot off Curvers right to Healy, and there's no further play. New York Islanders hockey is being brought to you by Mobil. Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. Isn't your car worth the extra protection?
Take a look at the missed pass. The Rangers pick it up in the center ice area. Now they're starting to dance on their skates. That's Monte. As he wheels and fires it, the Islanders blocked it partially. Change up the Rangers, Joe Cirella. He was having a lot of problems in the first two periods. He seemed to be down on the ice more than usual. Couldn't keep his balance. The Islanders were swirling around in the Ranger territory, but the roles have reversed here in the third period.
The Islanders led 2-0 after goals by King and Malakhov. 2-0 lead stood until just before the 17-minute mark of the second period. That's when Olczyk scored, and now Peter Andersson with his fourth of the season tying it up for the Rangers just after the 8-minute mark of this third period. New York Rangers clearing the zone. Delgarno gets it back into the zone. It's knocked down. Green unable to pick it up again, and here's Ed Olczyk. Olczyk around the end boards for Andersson. Up the wing, but right to Green, who dumps it in deep. Andersson will pick it up in the corner. Flatley moves it on him. Andersson got it to the line, but not out. Long shot from Pilon is turned aside. This is Green. Green centers to Brian Mullen. Back to the point and outside the line before Pilon can pick it up. Richard Pilon plays the puck to Travis Green. He missed Thomas with that lead. Joby Messier got it into the center ice zone. Pilon stepping in front of Messier as they go to the boards together. That's Joby, number 28. Tied up right in front of the Islander bench. Puck dug out of some skates, back into them, dug out again. Brian Mullen to Pilon, he lost it. Here's Olczyk on the left side, squeezed into the boards by Steve Thomas. Scott LeChance has cleared it out of the zone. The Rangers, Kevin Lowe moves it up now. That goes into the penalty box, and the clock is stopped with 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in this third period. Monday is opening day. Baseball is back, and the Mets are on Sports Channel against the expansion Colorado Rockies. Shea Stadium, Monday afternoon. Mets opening day. Action at 2 o'clock. The pregame show, Mets on Deck, starts at 1:30. It's all live on Sports Channel Monday from Shea.
Wasn't I reading somewhere where the opener for the Colorado Rockies is expected? They have already advanced sales of over 80,000 seats, which would break a baseball record for opening day.
And you know that Shea will be rocking on Monday. If you don't have tickets, can't get to Shea, this is the place to be, Sports Channel. That's Nemchinov, checked at the Islander blue line by Vladimir Malakhov. To David Volek, Nemchinov steps back in. He's over the line with Tikkanen, who has the puck now, only to be checked by Kasparaitis. Tikkanen picks it up again. Eriksson looks for the pass. Volek checked him. Eriksson then got it again, but gave it away, and out comes Pierre Turgeon. Turgeon chased to the boards by Kevin Lowe. Bukaboom trying to play it away from Derek King. Held it, then moves it away from David Volek. And clears the zone. Tikkanen failed to pick it up. Malakhov does, and the Islanders reset the play. Volek back to Malakhov. Down the ice here. This is going to be an icing call against the New York Islanders. From Madison Square Garden in the third period, the game tied 2-2. You're watching Sports Channel. Often sputtered along early. It's tied 2-2. The minds of many in the New York area. This is the 7th game of their Stanley Cup final. The Islanders and the Ranger fans thinking alike. The season with 2 final weeks to go before the postseason dance begins. And both of these teams still with a chance to make the playoffs. Flatley centers it back. Curvers with a shot. Blocked by Richter, and he had company. Ferraro was right there and couldn't get a rebound.
What a job by Richter. Awkward looking, but he got it done. Slid sideways with the pad stacked, reached out and grabbed the puck. That's the payback. Flatley to Curvers moving in. He had a good shot at it. There's Richter. He slides to his left, grabbing the puck. This is the Islanders again as they come up the ice. Flatley stopped quickly, and that was the pass back to Curvers. There's the shot. Ferrero looking for a loose puck. Richter says, I got it.
Game tied 2-2. Shots on goal are even 30 apiece as the Rangers have outshot the Islanders 12-4 in this third period. And here's Graves off the left side in deep. Tries to step into the slot, and Messier couldn't tuck it in. Huey Krupp can't get there in time either. This is Graves centering it back. Messier to the point for Zubov. Zubov around Hogue up the slot, only to be stripped of the puck. The Islanders don't get it out. Stepping into it is Zubov. It's knocked away from him. Bounces off Krupp and comes outside the line. Up the right side comes Ferraro. 2-on-1 with Hogue. Ferraro to Hogue. He shoots. Missed the net. Loose puck in the left wing boards, and Zubov takes over. Sergei Zubov. Long lead pass. Into the Islanders zone they come. Look at the play by Curvers. Taking closer off the puck. A wraparound doesn't go as Graves set it up back of the net. Over goes Krupp. There's the puck up the boards through Kevin Lowe, only to be shot back in by Turgeon. Oh, that just about handcuffed Healy.
It was offside, though, I believe, Jigs, but Healy was watching his defenseman, Huey Krupp, who's very tired, trying to get off the ice as the Rangers let go with a quick shot. Delgarno spun off the puck. There was the shot. Healy, at the last moment, made a move on the net. It had beat him, but I believe the play was whistled dead. Here's Ray Ferrero, fights off a check, races down the ice. What a golden opportunity for the Islanders as Benoit Hogue shot it wide outside the goalpost. Good job by Ray Ferrero. Messier back out on the ice. He has led the spirit as well as the physical part of the game for the Rangers here in the third period.
Playing again with injured ribs. Much of the past couple of weeks playing, as they say, on the perimeter, not getting into the traffic, but he's been there tonight, hasn't he?
He has, Jakes, and when you see him take a face-off the way he has then and throughout tonight, you have to know the ribs aren't bothering him that much.
Now the Islanders out of the zone. Brian Mullen will play it around the end boards. Travis Green goes in. He took the man. Delgarno took the puck, but can't get it back to LaChance, and up with it is Gartner to Messier. On to Gartner, who chases it to the right wing boards. Pilon takes him off the puck. Brian Mullen on it now. He feeds Delgarno. Comes down the left side, dumping it into the Ranger zone. Green goes in after it along with Kevin Lowe. Travis Green put it behind the net. There's Messier. Delgarno shaken up a little as he goes back to the Islander bench after an incident behind the play. And Messier moves the puck to Gartner. Got checked by Steve Thomas. Malakhov feeds it out. This is Mullen on to Turgeon, and he couldn't pick up the pass. Back of the play, Thomas is upended at center ice, and there's a penalty call against the New York Rangers. Steve Thomas taken down, and the Islanders go to the power play with 5 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third period.
Timely penalty for the Islanders. It was Mark Messier. Interference. Kevin Lowe had decked one of the Islanders from behind. He got away with something on that move, but McCreary caught Messier. A lot of ice time in the third period for Mark Messier. Quality time, for that matter.
Keep in mind that each team gets a point if the game ends in a tie, and the Islanders would remain 1 point ahead of the New York Rangers. Each would have the same number of games remaining. The Rangers, by the way, are in Washington on Sunday, while the Islanders are at home tomorrow night to the Montreal Canadiens. That game is at 8 o'clock tomorrow night at the Nassau Coliseum. Make note of the change in start time. That's to accommodate Hockey Night in Canada. And we'll have it for you on Sports Channel. Washington leading Montreal tonight by a score of 3-0 in that game at Landover. So both teams will have played tonight, obviously, and meet tomorrow at the Coliseum. Here on the power play, it is Turgeon, Thomas, and King with Malakhov and Curvers on the points. Vladimir Malakhov slips the puck back to Curvers. The far wing, that's King. Eric King played it over Turgeon. Malakhov into the corner to Thomas. Back of the net, Eric King got the stick into Bookaboo, who recovers the puck but doesn't get it out. Curvers to Malakhov. Lets it go. What a bullet that just missed. Turgeon picks it out of the far corner. King had been knocked down in front of the net. Turgeon trying to find him. Now he does. King slips away from back of the net. Puts it in the goal mouth. A scramble here. Turgeon takes it back of the net. Puts it out in front. King's shot is denied. What an opportunity. And Richter holds the puck.
What a stop by Mike Richter. I believe he did the save on the rebound as well from point-blank range. Derek King standing on the top of the goal crease. Still can't figure out how that puck didn't go in. Turgeon working from behind the net. Turgeon grabbed the puck. Thomas trying to get in, got a little too close. King moves out in front, 27. There's the shot. What a stop. The rebound. Another stop by Mike Richter. As is inherent in most goaltenders, there's the stop. Another stop, and Richter looked back. Where's the puck? Well, it's not in the net. He's relieved.
Still 1 minute and 19 seconds left in Messier's interference penalty. 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the third period. Islanders 2, Rangers 2. The Islanders got the first two, King and Malakhov. Then Olczyk and Andersson scoring for the Rangers, each team with a power play goal in the game. King to the left, Thomas to the right, Turgeon in the middle waiting for the face-off, but now Mike Richter has an equipment problem and has drawn the attention of referee Bill McCreary. He'll get some help from Joe Sorella, and that'll give Turgeon a chance to go back and have a word with Coach Al Arbor. Maybe get a new stick as well. Looking for goal number 50. 11 players this season have scored 50 or more goals.
Well, if you kept track of that exchange that Pierre Turgeon just made, he ended up with the same stick that he went to the bench with.
No.
Yes.
Sleight of hand, Ed.
Yes. Make sure you use 3 sticks and not 2.
Just an illusion.
A lot harder to keep track of if you're interested as far as the officials are concerned.
Ball start on the face-off. They don't recycle the clock, so it's now 1:17 in the power play. The puck get it out of the skates of the Rangers. They don't get it out of the zone. Curvers at the left point. Lets it go. Just drifted wide, and Malakhov holds it at the right point. In around the boards to King. To the far side to Turgeon. To Curvers for a rip. That missed the net. Malakhov goes for the puck. Into Benoit Hogue at the top of the circle. His shot went wide. The rebound from Turgeon. It's in the goal mouth and cleared out. Sorella turns it over. This is Turgeon walking right in on goal. Feeds it back. Malakhov to Hogue. He shoots. That goes off his stick. Zubov trying to battle Derek King for control of the puck. Zubov protects it well, then centers it around the boards toward Turcotte. Pinching in his Curvers. Curvers stripped to the puck. It goes off Thomas to Malakhov. Into the slot. Hogue feeds it back. Curvers with a shot. Richter the save, and there's no further play. This game is coming to you from Madison Square Garden.
Whatever they've said about Mike Richter, he's more than made up for it here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. The Islanders have done everything but put the puck behind him. He stopped them with his feet. He stopped them with his hands. There's the shot. Catching save as Pierre Turgeon tried to hammer it out of his glove into the net.
3 shots on goal during this power play. 26 seconds remaining in Messier's interference penalty. Game tied 2-2 at Madison Square Garden. Turgeon, Hogue, and Thomas with Curvers and Krupp at the points now. Nemchinov on the draw, and he won it. Kevin Lowe slaps it hard around the boards and down the ice. 19 seconds in the power play as Messier sits out the interference call and Krupp starts the play. Left side to Turgeon, into his skates. Turgeon right back to Curvers. Up to Pierre Turgeon, into the Ranger zone. Turgeon pulling to the left. He is checked in the play by Kekkonen. That's Krupp coming back for the Islanders. Messier is out of the penalty box. Turgeon with a loose puck. Up off the boards towards Steve Thomas. It went to Kekkonen, who has dumped it across the line, and Tom Curvers moves it to Hogue. Curvers with the pass here on to Travis Green. Green steps when the went wide. Richter covers it as it comes off the end boards. That'll get a player change. Also gets another little scrum on the end boards. Clock shows 3 minutes and 1 second remaining in the third period.
Islanders get 3 scoring chances. They get 3 shots on goal on the power play. Every one of them an outstanding save by Mike Richter. Not so bad a deal for the Rangers when you think that Messier got a full 2-minute rest. A little more than 2 minutes with a couple of face-offs in there. So he is ready to come back and resume where he left off.
Green, Delgarno, and Mullen for the Islanders. Pilon on the left side of the defense. LeChance on the right as you see Mark Messier move in for the face-off. He has Olczyk and Gartner with him as his line mates. Zuboff and Sorella, the defense pairing for the New York Rangers. Messier won the draw, and this is Zuboff. Up the far side, it goes through Mullen, and out at center ice, Pilon handles it. His pass went off. Mark Messier, and LeChance has given the puck to Travis Green. Green across the line on right wing. Faked the shot, trying to freeze the defense. Moves in deeper, but Zuboff blocks the pass. Mullen gets a stick on it. Ryan Mullen to Delgarno will put it in front. This is Gartner chasing it to the right wing boards. Now to Messier. He'll dump it in, and the Rangers give chase. Healy to LeChance on the exchange. Around the boards to Delgarno, who's bumped by Olczyk. Puck comes off the near boards. Olczyk tied up by Delgarno, and Mullen gets out of the zone. 2-on-2 as Green comes up. They crisscross at the Ranger line. Brian Mullen trying to get it into Green, but Mark Messier read the play and gets the Rangers out of the zone. Messier on to Zuboff. Sergei Zuboff into the Islanders' zone. Called back. The net is off. The Ranger goal down to our right. 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. The Rangers haven't missed the playoffs since 87-88 when they finished 5th in the division with 82 points. That was the year that the Islanders won the division with 88. 87-88. And the following year, the Islanders had 61 points and finished 6th. The Rangers had 82 points and were 3rd in the division. The ever-changing Patrick division, huh?
And it was Terry Simpson coaching the Islanders. 88 points in first place in the Patrick division. He was fired. Al Arbor. It was about December the 9th. Al Arbor took over his first game back in New Jersey at the Meadowlands.
And you know, if the Rangers were to tumble from first in the division and first overall last year to a playoff miss this year, it isn't all that unusual. The last time it happened was 89 when Detroit had finished first in the Norris with 80 points, and then were 5th the next year with 70 and out of the playoffs. Back in 68-69, Montreal won the Stanley Cup after finishing first overall. In the following year, 69-70, they missed the playoffs.
That was the quirky year where they had that goal differential. Remember, they played in Chicago with the goaltender out in the second period.
You have to go all the way back to 1947 to find another time that Montreal finished first, and then were 5th the following year. The puck skied off a stick and out of play. 1 minute and 55 seconds left. Graves decides he'd like to get a chunk of Darius Kasparaitis. Flatley involved here. Andersson, Kasparaitis, and Graves are being pulled apart by the two linesmen as referee Bill McCurry watches the tempers reach the bubbling point. Ray Ferraro has his helmet knocked off, and he and Joey Kocur nose to nose.
And that kind of a hockey game. Close in every department. Players close. Somebody trying to take advantage. The intimidating factor. I'll tell you, when you start getting a glove slammed into your face, and both teams guilty of it. Adam Graves there takes a whack from Kasparaitis, Kocur, and Ferraro. But there, Graves and Kasparaitis get things stirred up. There's Graves with a punch under the linesman. So the referee, here we go, with the penalty.
His assistant to the 11, the Islanders Darius Kasparaitis. His assistant to the Rangers Joe Kocur. And intended misconduct penalty his assistant to Thomas. Started by
Roughing on Kasparaitis and Graves. And Joe Kocur draws a 10-minute misconduct penalty. So Kocur is finished for the night. Only a minute 55 in regulation and a 5-minute overtime should we come to that. Joey Kocur is done. And It'll be 4-on-4 hockey. Not a bad trade-off when you consider getting Graves out of here for a little while. You'll trade off Darius Kasparaitis, I think, if you're a member of the coaching staff, wouldn't you?
Well, the Islanders have to think about winning the hockey game. I suppose that when you toss it out, a tie would probably be in the better interest of the Islanders than would be in the Rangers, because what it does to the Rangers is it loses a game. It's a divisional game. They don't gain any ground. Islanders maintain the psychological edge of being in first place, coming into this building and leaving.
Being in the playoff spot, yeah, in a point up on them.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, the Rangers, as I've said, are in Washington on Sunday, in Landover on Sunday, and then they have Hartford coming in here on Monday. The Islanders, in the meantime, as you know, go home to face the Canadiens tomorrow night at 8 o'clock at the Nassau Coliseum, and then they will be in Landover, Maryland against the Rangers, or against the Capitals, on Tuesday night. They'll come home to face Chicago on Thursday, and then Ottawa next Saturday.
Think back to the opportunity Benoit Hogue had to put his hockey team ahead, and he missed the net.
Benoit Hogue and Mark Messier on this draw. Messier dug it out of the skates. This is Zubov moving in from the blue line. Comes right through in front of the net. Holds it and he can't center. There'll be a takedown, a penalty. LeChance is going to get the gate. A holding signal on Scott LeChance. And the Islanders are going to be a man short with 1 minute and 43 seconds left in regulation time.
Hogue and Tikkanen. Tikkanen's trying to get him to take a penalty on him. Benoit Hogue best be careful. Islanders now with a penalty to Scott LeChance. They're better off to be 5 against 4 in skaters. Here's Zubov. What a job he's done for the Rangers in this hockey game. There's Scott LeChance taking Tikkanen down onto the ice. Now there's more penalties being handed out. I saw McCreary turn. It looked as though it was a penalty for abuse of the officials. Tikkanen is mad, so it has to be to the Rangers. If it is, it's a big break for the Islanders.
I think he's also got Benoit Hogue. He was yelling at Hogue. LeChance, first of all, for holding. And 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct to Tikkanen and Hogue. Also at 18-17.
Tikkanen, I don't know why he's so mad. He was trying to get a penalty to Hogue. He did. The only thing was he got himself one as well.
The New York Rangers have asked for their 30-second timeout. Ron Smith talking, as you see, to Messier and Zubov. Al Arbor, Lorne Henning, Rick Green doing the same at the Islander bench with Pilon, Malakhov, and Patrick Flatley. Penalty to Scott LeChance after Graves and Kasparaitis have been sent off for roughing at 18:05. The LeChance penalty is called at 18:17. Face-off will be in the New York Islanders' end of the ice. It was 1-0 Islanders at the end of the first. Before the first minute mark of the second, they were leading by a score of 2-0. Olczyk got the Rangers a goal at 16:53 of the second period, and then Peter Andersson on a power play at 8:26 tied it up.
A lot of work ahead of the Islander penalty killers now. Talked about the fans. They have not been a big part of this hockey game by any means, but they are going to be now. 1 minute and 43 remaining.
Bill McCreary over to the Islander bench to talk with Al Arbor. He had sent out 4 men, and now it's 3. Malakhov, Flatley, and Fitzgerald. The Islanders playing with 3 men, the Rangers with 4. Gartner, Messier, Zuboff, and Peter Andersson for the Rangers. Tom Fitzgerald to duel against Messier on this draw. Messier pulled the puck back. Zuboff looks to the point for Andersson, then turns on Fitzgerald and comes in a little deeper. Zuboff centers it across, and it's shot wide by Gartner. Messier drops it back. Andersson at the blue line. Over to Zuboff. Backs up with it. Looks to Andersson. Gave it to him. Andersson, a weak shot. Messier from back of the net. Gartner being covered by Malakhov. Messier feeds it back. That's Peter Andersson. To Zuboff, who shot it high and wide. It comes off the glass to the line, held in by Andersson. To Messier. Messier with Gartner at the front of the net. Can't get it to him. Patrick Flatley puts it back in the goal. Then around the boards to Fitzgerald. He plays it away from Zuboff and down the ice.
What a job by Pat Flatley to get the puck to Fitzgerald. That gives him a chance to change all three Islander players.
Now it's Mullen with Krupp. And Fitzgerald. Up the ice comes Andersson, dumping it in off Mullen's stick. Brian Mullen falling as he tried to whack at it. Gartner with a shot that went wide. Tommy Fitzgerald finds an opening and clears it out. 42 seconds left in regulation time. Peter Andersson back of the net. Now to Mark Messier. Into center ice. Messier to the Islander line. Gartner got up ahead of him, and that puts the play offside. 30.8 tenths of a second remaining in regulation time. The Islanders haven't faced an overtime game in the last 12, 13 including tonight. That was the overtime win in Hartford. There is Michael Gartner. Well, this is pretty much what the fans in this area would like, isn't it? A 2-2 tie in a game that is so important to both teams, and the possibility now of a 5-minute sudden death overtime period to decide it.
Interesting when you look at the statistics through the first couple of periods, Jakes, and you think of Messier. He didn't have a shot on goal. Gartner had two. Two of the guns for the New York Rangers. 2 shots between them, but Messier here in the third period has been his old self. He has sparkled in the third period.
Sure has. Get some refreshment. He'll line up here, take the draw against Captain Patrick Flatley of the Islanders. So it's Messier, Gartner, Zuboff, and Andersson again. Flatley with Mullen and Krupp for the New York Islanders. The puck comes back to Zuboff. Zuboff with Gartner on his off wing. Back to Zuboff. Centers it across. This is Andersson in deeper to Messier, and he overled or played it behind Gartner, and the Islanders are out of the zone. Brian Mullen, a hard shot from center, is turned aside, and Messier comes back for it. 12 seconds remaining. Messier turns in the corner, looks up ice. There's the pass to Gartner. 5 seconds left as he hits the center ice stripe. On into the Islander zone. Around the boards it goes, and we'll go to overtime.
What a third period for the Islanders. What a matchup in goaltending. Glenn Healy, what a job. At the other end, the equal. Mike Richter. 3 outstanding saves on an Islander power play.
And the Rangers will continue with the man advantage into the overtime. They'll have 16 seconds remaining in LeChance's holding penalty. 4 seconds into the overtime. The penalties to take it in and Hogue will be over with. So it's 2-2 headed to overtime. And the overtime record this season, 2-2-6 for the Islanders, 2-3-11 for the Rangers. And here is your game summary going back to the opening period. On a power play, the Islanders with a 2-man advantage when Derek King scored his 35th from Turgeon and Malakhov at 18:25. Vladimir Malakhov will get his 13th of the season from Hogan Flatley. 32 seconds into the second period, the Islanders maintain a 2-0 lead. Then Olczyk scores from Zuboff and Amonte at 16:53. Olczyk's 20th, and it's 2-1 Islanders at the end of the second. At 8:26 of the third period, with LeChance sitting out an interference penalty, Peter Andersson scores his 4th. The puck ricocheting off a couple of Islanders. Messier and Amonte assist, and the game is 2-2. And that's the way we stand going to sudden death. Shot summary, 12-9 Islanders in the first, 14-9 in the second period. The Rangers outshoot the Islanders by 5 in the third, 13-8. 34 shots for the Islanders, 31 for the Rangers during regulation time. Each team with a power play goal. And the Rangers with a man advantage going to this overtime period.
Speaking of overtime, Jigs, in the regular season, the Rangers hold an edge. 3 wins, a loss, and 10 ties. The Rangers have that edge in regulation. In the playoffs, the Islanders own the Rangers 6-0. Mike Gardner with an opportunity. He couldn't control the pass. Down deep, there's the pass to Gardner. You could see what he was able to do if he'd have got a hold of the puck. We take another look at the same play. That's the drop pass. Gardner moves over to your right. You see his stick in the air, his back turns. There's the pass from Messier. He couldn't control it. So much like Hogue with a scoring chance earlier in the period, Mike Gardner had one there with seconds winding down to the end of the period, and he couldn't control it.
You know, the great history between these two teams, 18 years ago, next week, April 11th, hockey history in New York, 11 seconds into overtime. Remember that? JP?
Yes, Jude Drew and JP. And yours truly, 11 seconds into the overtime. A year that the Islanders weren't supposed to make the playoffs, and the Rangers had the kind of a team that could go all the way.
And then there was that night here at Madison Square Garden in 1985 when Greg Gilbert scored an overtime goal on Ron Scott. Will somebody score tonight? Glad you're with us on Sports Channel. Vladimir Malakhov clears it out. Kasparaitis is just out of the penalty box, as is Tikkanen. And now Scott LaChance is about to be sprung in the next 2 seconds, and the Rangers clear the puck out of the zone. It bounced off Messier, who picks it up. Teams are at full and equal strength as Zubov moves across the Islander blue line. Zubov in traffic over to Gartner, who gets checked. Messier after the puck. Flatley slid into him. Flatley got it to the line, now flips it up ahead. Back for it is Adam Graves. Graves with a long pass. Healy left it back of the net. The Islanders trying to make the transition to the right side. Delgarno played it around Demchinov, picks it up again onto Green, to the right side to Mullen, but it's offside at the Ranger line. Final score from the Capitol Center, Washington 4, the Montreal Canadiens no score. And the winner in the nets for Washington with a shutout is Rick Tabaracci, picked up from Winnipeg just prior to the trading deadline. And the Canadiens are denied an opportunity to move out of that tie with the Quebec Nordiques for first place in the Adams division. 19 years we've been calling them Patrick, Adams, Smythe, and Doris, and now that'll end next season.
Yes, it's all over.
LaChance fires the puck around the boards after the Islanders had won the draw. Eriksson stepping in front of King. This is Demchinov going back in the net. Around to Tikkanen, checked by LaChance. Turgeon from the blue line, his shot hit Steve Thomas. Thomas off balance, back up on his skates, puts it behind the Ranger net. King trying to get away from Bukaboom. Over went Demchinov, and he feeds Eriksson. Eriksson and Tikkanen at the Islander line. The chance to clear the puck. But they rule it's been knocked down with a high stick, and the clock has stopped. 1 minute and 17 seconds into overtime. You look down the line a little bit. 2 weeks from tonight, the season ends, and then the playoffs begin. Pittsburgh, we know, will win the Patrick division. And they're one victory away from clinching the President's Trophy as the best team overall, the best points total after 84 games. Who will they face? Who will the Caps face? Conceding, I guess, a playoff spot to Washington at this stage. Kevin Lowe dumps the puck in here. Scott LaChance can't get it to Turgeon as Demchinov broke up the pass, and now Pilon dumps it down the boards through the Ranger defense. There won't be an icing call. This is Lowe. Went to the right side and out now to Tikkanen. It's knocked off his stick and right back in. Bukaboom steps from behind the net. Goes to the right side. The pass off the boards. Big collision. Flatley stepping into his man. Bukaboom, and up the ice comes Pierre Turgeon with a shot that was blocked. Turgeon freed it up. Flatley can't control it. Neither could Malakhov. Kasparaitis dumps it back in, and as Hogue reaches for it, an icing, or an offside, I should say, is called against the Islanders. And some fans here would like that to be an intentional, and the puck brought back into the Islanders zone for the ensuing drop, but not so.
I guess they've changed their mind. They must have listened to the fans, Jigs, because they are taking it all the way down into the Islanders, into the ice. Much to the dismay of Benoit Hogue. Islanders, a tired team. I would have to think the Rangers equally. This is a hard kind of hockey game to play with very little flow, no tempo, no smoothness to the game. It's a grinding, tiring hockey game.
Not really playoff hockey, is it? Yet, when you think of the tight checking and in a 7-game series, this would probably be the equal to at least 2, maybe 3 games in a best of 7. Or maybe even the entire 7 if these two were to meet. Benoit Hogue and Mark Messier on this face-off. Won by Hogue. Krupp steps from back of the net. Huey Krupp out of the zone. Gets away from Olczyk. Steps across the Ranger line, then lost a handle on the puck. Sorella gets checked by Flatley, but was able to recover. Flatley steps around the Ranger defenseman. Centers off the stick. Comes back outside the line for Huey Krupp. Krupp drives it around the boards in the Ranger zone. Richter out to play the puck. Now Sorella handles it. Goes up the right side to Gartner. On to Ed Olczyk at center ice. It jumped away from him and Flatley dumps it in. 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in overtime. Olczyk clears the zone. Delgarno will shoot it back in again where Sorella knocks it down. That's Mullen moving into forecheck. Now the Ranger Zubov finds Messier coming through center across the line. Faked the shot, dropped it back, and Gartner is checked from behind. Healy is able to move it across, and the Islanders are out of the zone. Mullen into the Ranger territory. Delgarno up to join him. Ryan Mullen, look at the strength. Controlling the puck with one hand on the stick after being tied up, but Messier frees it for Gartner. Out they come 2-on-2. Messier across the line, cuts to the left side, holds it, looks to make the pass, does, but it's broken up by Green. Up ahead down to Mullen, Delgarno with them, 2-on-2 the other way. Mullen dumps it in. It's been a long shift for these two. Boom to Lowe, he's checked back in the net as Mullen is right on him. The puck comes loose. Delgarno can't get it out in front. Kevin Lowe turns on Turgeon. Rangers, cross ice broken up. Malakhov sets it up. Turgeon shot went wide on a deflection. Malakhov to Delgarno, up to Turgeon. He scores! A mob scene at Madison Square Garden. Look at Glenn Healy all the way down the ice to congratulate his teammates. 3-2 in overtime.
I was about to accuse Malakhov of not shooting the puck. He passed it when he had a great chance to shoot it. The end result is all that matters as far as the Islanders are concerned. A heartbroken Ranger team. They came back from being down 2-0, only to see the Islanders win it in overtime.
Pierre Turgeon becomes the 12th player in the league this season to score 50 goals, and look at this happy group. 3 points up on the Rangers. 4th place by 3 over the New York Rangers. Their first win here in 7 visits, including tonight. Watch them come off the ice and head down toward the dressing room, knowing that they can't celebrate too much because there's a game again tomorrow at the Nassau Coliseum. Hope you'll be there for that. Here's the winner again, Ed.
What a scramble around the net. The Islanders keep the puck in. There, what a beautiful play. A chance for Malakhov to shoot it. He passed it. Deflected as Turgeon stands in front of the net. There's the shot. Didn't get a lot on it, but it fooled Mike Richter. He had to stand back into the net. Couldn't get a second chance at it. There. What a play by Malakhov. Went to fire it, passed it. Turgeon missed the net, but look where Malakhov. He kept the play alive to the front of the net. Delgarno, Pierre, Turgeon, and it's all over. What a way to get the 50th goal of the season.
Bill Torrey, the former general manager of the Islanders, and Bill Smith, and we take you back now to February 18th, 1981. The last time the Islanders beat the Rangers here, Pat LaFontaine set up David Volek for the winner, 1991. Now on April 2nd of 1993, an overtime goal giving Pierre Turgeon 50 on the season. And Stardust dripping from Malakhov, a goal and 2 assists tonight. This Russian defenseman is something. Delgarno in on the goal as well at 3:41 of overtime.
It was a gamble, Jiggs. It was a big gamble by Malakhov, but it paid off. That's what stars are made of, stepping up, taking a chance, and making it work. Not only did he intercept the pass, make the play, but he kept it going when Turgeon's initial shot was deflected wide of the Ranger net.
Pierre Turgeon becomes the fourth New York Islander to get 50 goals in a season. Bossy did it 9 times, Trottier and LaFontaine, and now Turgeon. And a quick look at the standings in the Patrick Division. Washington winning 87 points. They're 5 ahead of the Devils. The Islanders with the win tonight are 2 behind the Devils, 3 up on the New York Rangers. And the Philadelphia Flyers all but eliminated here in the Patrick Division. But the Islanders come into the Garden and get the win in overtime. Your final score, the Islanders 3, the New York Rangers 2. We'll be back to recap tonight's victory following these words. We're back at Madison Square Garden to recap the overtime. The Islanders defeat the Rangers by a score of 3-2 on Pierre Turgeon's 50th goal of the season. Is there a more dramatic way to get 50 than in overtime? Turgeon from Malakhov and Delgarno at the 3:41 mark. That's the only shot on goal that either team had in the extra period. And the Islanders have won this hockey game 3-2 and moved 3 points ahead of the New York Rangers. Sole possession in the Patrick Division of 4th place, sneaking up on the New Jersey Devils, who are 3rd. And Glenn Healy is one of the stories tonight. He is now 4-1-0 in his last 5 games and has given up only a dozen goals in that stretch. And Glenn Healy joins Stan Fischler.
Thank you very much, Jigs. Glenn, your feelings, your impressions of the game.
Well, obviously, as a team, we're elated. It's just a big win for us. We knew we had our hands full coming in here. We knew the Rangers would be hungry. And for us to take 2 points in their building this late in the season, I think it's just superb and a great job by everybody. We couldn't have done this without 21 guys tonight.
There's a fellow in sports, his name is Morris or Momentum. Momentum shifted to the Rangers, and it was 2-2, and they had the power play, and it looked pretty bad. What were you thinking at that time?
Well, you know, obviously they've got a great team. They've got some great forwards, and you knew they weren't going to go the whole game without getting a goal, although I would have liked that. But they created some good plays and scored some nice goals, and I think we fell apart a little bit, but not too much, because we maintained our composure and tightened up defensively, and we didn't allow them to create the odd man rushes, and that's how they took the momentum away from us. So I thought we held on pretty good, and obviously a great play by a big player in overtime, and there's the win, and that's all that's important.
In the pregame analysis, Jiggs McDonald and Eddie Westfall was saying that the first 10 minutes of the game would be essential for the Islanders to keep the Rangers off the score sheet. How did you see the first period unfold?
Well, I have to agree with Jiggs and Eddie. They were right on the mark there. Obviously, this team hasn't played since Sunday, and they've read the papers all week, and I'm sure they're very anxious to start this game tonight. And the first 10 minutes, it was make or break time for us. Obviously, they can send some firepower at you, and it could have been a blowout right away. But we played with a lot of discipline. We didn't allow them too many good chances. And as soon as the 10-minute mark was upon us, and I knew that it was a tight game, I knew we were going to go all the way to the end. So, and we all felt that too. So it was a matter of just playing composed and disciplined for the entire 60 or 65 minutes.
Some people are saying that Glenn Healy is playing the best goal of his life. You are now 4-1 the last 5. How do you see your game right now?
Well, I'm pleased with it. I think I've had a lot of help from my team. I don't think you can win games unless you have a team in front of you playing well. So I think what's happening is the team is gelling, and I'm gelling, and we're kind of building confidence off of each other. And I think that's the important thing. And obviously, it's the right time of year for that to be happening. But I've been confident all year. I was hungry coming into camp, and I wanted to get the season on with, because I knew we were going to have a good team, and I knew we were going to have an exciting year. So everything seems to be unfolding for us.
And tomorrow, another game. This time at Nassau Coliseum. Jiggs, Eddie?
All right, Stan, yes, 3-2. The Islanders over the Rangers. You can credit Glenn Healy. You look to Malakhov. You look to Turgeon. You look to so many.
Garno from behind the net. Turgeon wasn't pretty, folks, but this hockey game was not pretty. And Turgeon missed on the shot, but he hit the net, barely. In behind Mike Richter. The Budweiser play of the hockey game, the 50th goal of the season for Pierre Turgeon, and the winning goal in overtime.
The winner, plus an assist on Derek King's goal to open the game tonight, and the Islanders have defeated the Rangers 3-2. More from Madison Square Garden right after this. Well, a dozen players in the National Hockey League have scored 50 goals this season. That's a new record. And as I said before, Ed, I don't think anybody did it as dramatically as Pierre Turgeon. Of the 50, 10 are game winners, and this one in OT.
He's a very special player, Jigs, and when you think how tired he must have been by the time that goal was put in, no wonder he couldn't get much on it.
But he's still got enough to visit with Stan Fischler. Here they are.
Thank you, Jigs and Eddie. Well, first of all, how tired were you on that last shift when you got the winner?
Well, I was pretty tired. I had the first shift I went on overtime. I stayed a little bit longer than usually, and second shift was I was kind of a little bit tired, but we turned out well.
You're a former baseball star, Little League. That looked like a ground ball through the hole. Now tell me how the play developed before you got it and put it in. Tell me how the play.
The puck went in the corner, and Vladimir went in the corner. And when we the goal behind, I think we're a line who have to step up and do things and have some chance to score. But we're a kind of team who can't depend on only one line or two lines. We need everybody to go, and like tonight, everybody was there, and Healy did some great save also, so everything turned out well.
It was a big gamble that Vladimir Malakhov took on that play, and then popping in there. He is really becoming a very, very formidable player on the team.
Yeah, I think he reads the play very well, and that time he just forecheck, took the puck, and gave it to me on the side, and I shot it in the corner. You went in the corner, get it, and he can read the play very well. And that's something that the defenseman, it's something you need as a forward when you're in front in a power play, that he can come in down and look for you right across the crease, and he's got a great hockey sense, and he's got to be a great hockey player.
Pierre, you've scored a lot of big goals. Is this your biggest goal as a New York Islander?
I would say, yeah. I mean, we're in a race for the playoff, and it's the 50th goal at the same time, and really happy and can't complain at all.
Well, as they say in Paris and Montreal, ooh la la, that was magnifique. Pierre Turgeon. Jigs, Eddie.
All right, Stan. Pierre with the game-winning goal tonight. By the way, playoff tickets go on sale at the Nassau Coliseum box office or by telephone tomorrow morning, 10:30. If the Islanders should make it, and they're in pretty good shape. Let's take a look at the remaining games on the Islanders' schedule. 8 after tonight. Starts tomorrow night at the Nassau Coliseum with the Montreal Canadiens visiting. Then they go to Landover for a game with the Capitals on Tuesday. At home on Thursday with the Chicago Blackhawks. Next Saturday night, they're at home with the Ottawa Senators. And on Easter Sunday, they're at New Jersey, to be followed by that back-to-back 13th and 14th confrontation with Hartford. And then finishing it up at the Nassau Coliseum on Friday the 16th with the New Jersey Devils. For the New York Rangers, they're next on the road Sunday at Washington. They'll come home to face Hartford on Monday. We'll be at New Jersey on Wednesday. Hartford comes in on Friday, and then they go to Pittsburgh on Saturday the 10th. And the balance of the schedule, as you see, Pittsburgh on Friday the 9th and Saturday at Pittsburgh. Then they have the Philadelphia Flyers on the road. Washington visits here, and they finish up at Landover against the Caps on Friday the 16th as well. So there aren't a whole lot of easy games for either team, each with 8 left, but the Islanders in the position that they wanted to be, 3 points up with 8 games left.
It's a big advantage for the Islanders, Jigs, and when you're talking about what the Rangers have to do, they have to do something now that they haven't been able to do all season long, and that's play at a clip that would be somewhere over 600%. And that's a lot to ask. There's a lot of firepower, there's a lot of capable players on the Ranger team, but they haven't been able to do it. Maybe they can do it, but that means that the Islanders are going to be sitting still, which I doubt.
We have one more unfinished piece of business, well, a couple for that matter, but the first one is the player who made the difference for Old Spice, and that is
Vladimir Malakhov. There was no question. There was a lot of excellent Islanders out there, but Vladimir Malakhov, he took the gamble at the end. He got a goal and 2 assists. The Islanders scored 3 goals total. He, the Old Spice player that made the difference, Vladimir Malakhov.
So the Islanders win this hockey game in overtime by a score of 3-2. There was only one other game in the National Hockey League tonight, and that featured the Montreal Canadiens in Landover against the Washington Capitals, and the Nobody Beats the Wiz scoreboard has shown that to be a 4-0 shutout victory. Rick Tabaracci in the nets tonight for the Washington Caps, and they defeat Montreal 4-0. Now the Canadiens come into the Nassau Coliseum tomorrow night and the Caps rest up to face these Rangers on Sunday in Landover. There are a whole lot of other things to talk about in this Islander win tonight. The drama of it, the whole thing, as we said, wasn't a classic playoff type game. Herky-jerky, choppy at times, but the Islanders prevail. There's a little bit of nastiness, and maybe not quite as much as a lot of people expected.
You sometimes expect that in this kind of a hockey game that's played so close and is so interrupted, Jigs. And I think that the problem that the Rangers had began at the beginning of the hockey game that Glenn Healy so aptly described to Stan Fischler, the fact that the Rangers just didn't get out of the blocks and do what they wanted. They didn't try and create a situation where the Islanders tried to keep up to them. It fell into the hands of the visiting team to have that kind of a hockey game played here at the Madison Square Garden Arena under the circumstances.
Now it's time to take a look at some talking points from tonight's Islander win. The regular season games between these two teams that have been played in the month of April. The Islanders have won 9 and the Rangers none. There was never a tie, but that's what we had going to overtime tonight. Point number 2, these are season series. In the 21 years now of the Islanders and the Rangers, Islanders winning 10, the Rangers 6, and 5 have ended deadlock. And the Islanders' April regular season record now, month of April, 29 wins, 14 losses, and 9 ties. Playoff tickets, again, remember, go on sale tomorrow morning at 10:30. Once again, the final score from Madison Square Garden in overtime, the New York Islanders 3, the New York Rangers 2. Remember, tomorrow night, the Islanders host the powerful Montreal Canadiens. You'll see the action live at 8 o'clock, the pregame show at 7:30. Monday afternoon at 2, baseball is back and it's on Sports Channel. Catch exclusive coverage of Mets opening day. The Mets hosting the expansion Colorado Rockies. Now for Ed Westfall and Stan Fischler, I'm Jakes McDonald, saying so long for tonight. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching Islanders hockey on Sports Channel.